sure?
I'm ready to talk some crap.
We're
I'm ready
live.
to talk some crap.
So get after
I'm
it.
sure that
Start
was.
talking some crap.
Ah,
Look at
what
everybody's
did I
slow
do?
tonight. We don't even have an eyeball in here yet. Well, no,
There's
there's
14 of them
14.
snuck in on us.
They're slow.
Not one,
Yeah.
just 14.
Yeah.
We already got
Waiting on this.
questions.
What? I don't see no comments yet.
Yep. Is it illegal to kill 2 mountain lions in New Mexico? Farmer killed one last week because it was trespassing. No, you can kill two lions a year, but you gotta have a tag and then go get another tag. Right, Benny? Since you're a
Well,
law-abiding citizen.
There's always that other rule that I follow all the rules and I make my own.
That's what I thought.
That's all I ever do.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here,
Actually,
right there is Antidote of a Houndsman, Chris Watson. Over there is Benny Griffen, the
Stomper.
The Stomper. They are
Benny the Stomper.
Our resident grump. So what went on? What went on this week, guys? Anything new? Anything interesting? Benny.
Oh yeah.
What?
I went fishing. Caught a bunch of catfish.
You caught a ton of fish. I seen.
Oh man, bring some down and we'll grill it up.
Benny sent me pictures that made me feel bad.
I did.
I have my.
If that don't look like fishing, I don't know what is.
Look at Benny. Where is that at?
Ute Lake, Logan, New Mexico.
Love catfish. Love catfish. I will catfish. I'd rather catfish and eat catfish rather than anything.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I believe that.
That's all you did is fish.
I'm working on this.
Oh.
Look at that.
There it is. Gosh. We'll grill them up.
How'd they taste, Benny?
I don't know. They're in the freezer, frozen in water. We filleted them, and we cut them up into eating sizes, and they're just waiting for me to go somewhere and put them in my disco with some oil, battered with Zatarans. Oh yeah, Zatarans is the best.
So is this something that we can look forward to?
Well, it just depends. You know, I'll take that with me Thursday.
We haven't made any announcements yet.
Well,
look at Benny trying to grab the glory.
All of it.
No, I'm announcing that Thursday I'm going to hit the road and I will take my fish with me.
You take your fish everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
Chris, what'd you do this week? Last week? Whatever week.
Work. This weekend I had a doctor appointment and then I did a bunch of other stuff.
The doctor say you were okay?
No,
they send it to they got to get a professional opinion first, you know.
Is that your psychiatrist or?
Yeah.
Up the medication.
Turns
then
out
I went down. I went down to check out.
What's that, Chris? You're teetering on that condition, CRS.
CRS.
Can't remember.
That's it.
I gotta share this. My nephew, he makes some YouTube videos, and he made that one. I couldn't hardly watch it. About the first 3 minutes, I got all choked up.
Oh.
Thank you, Susan. That, it's on his YouTube channel is Mountain Misfits Outdoors, and he backpacks and fishes and hunts and does a lot of things outdoors. And he doesn't say it on there, but he's a marathon runner. He runs marathons. So He doesn't really need a mule. He can just go.
Make him carry all your gear.
Yeah, he's been hunting with me since he was a little bitty guy. His dad works all the time. His dad's a real hard worker, and I've always been kind of, well, I get sidetracked real easy. Let's put
Not
it that
such a
way.
hard worker.
Squirrel.
Yeah,
I
I
think
get
that was me all
sidetracked.
weekend.
So what'd you do, Chris? Anything? Did you
I
make a
think what
video?
I did Friday. No. Friday, I had a doctor's appointment in the morning. What did I do after I did it? I feel like I did something important Friday. Saturday,
yeah,
I had
you
a
talked-
t-ball game. What's that?
You talked to me on the phone Friday, and that's
That's
there
what
was
it
nothing
was.
else.
After I talked to Benny, I was done. My day was accomplished.
There you go.
That's the way I always feel.
Saturday, I was just doing yard work, basically trying to get stuff around the house done. Then we had a t-ball game, and then we had a barbecue, so all the family came over. So I sent my wife to get some chicken $300 later. Then I don't know, just had a bonfire, drank some vanilla whiskey, and
I thought you were gonna say tequila.
I almost said tequila. I couldn't remember. And then Sunday, I got up with every intention to go check out that camp spot. But I went down to Young, and then I seen a for sale sign on a house, and I called the realtor. She showed up like in 10 minutes, all dirty. I didn't care. She was Sunday, and I guess she's working in the yard, whatever. So she showed us this house, and then I called, text Heather Robertson, seeing if they were home. They said, well, we're at the restaurant. We'll be home in 15 minutes. So I went over there to stop by for a couple minutes, and 3 hours later I left. And then it took me a while to get down there because there's like a big car, 2-person fatality on the way down
Jeez.
there. So that blocked up. Bad one too. The airbag was on the outside of the windshield, so wasn't very good. So that slows you down a little bit anyways. And it was like, man, 5 o'clock before I got out of 4:30 Dale's, just chit chatting. And a couple other guys showed up and they chit chatted. Then I get a text later on, but when I get home, it says, hey, you seen my buddy down there? So another small world thing.
So how does that
But she did
place?
send me that video.
That place looks good. So are
Yeah.
we moving
Oh, yeah, it's in-
forward?
I think so. I told her we're going to do it. So,
So
and
guys,
so
go
I
ahead.
guess we could kind of make an announcement. It's the 24th, 25th.
Mark your calendars. The 24th, 25th. Is that right?
And if you don't want to get out of there, if you don't want to leave, they have it Sunday too, so you can stay till the 26th. August 24th, 25th, 26th.
We're going to have
So-
a get together.
Rendezvous. Like
Rendezvous.
the old days. It's free except for the whiskey you bring us.
The whiskey and and they said they were going to cook, right? And charge so much a plate.
So, yeah, and they were anxious about getting us in there, and I'm like, okay, text, and I said, well, finally again I asked her. I said, well, okay, what is this going to cost us?
You're
And
suspicious.
she ended up calling me and said nothing.
Wow.
We have it for the weekend. So they're talking about doing, like, if you guys are going to go, what we have to do is we'll figure it out to where you can RSVP. And she's talking about like some steak dinner for $25, 25,
Right there.
30. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Steak, potatoes, corn. So that's Saturday night. And they're going to cook and they're going to set up some tents. And I don't
Wow.
know. Sounds like a good pilot first annual South. We won't call it Arizona because it might be somewhere else, but we'll just say Southwest. The real hunting, dry ground hunters. We're gonna go into that, right, Brett? We're gonna go into that later.
Man.
Oh, Brett got
Let me-
talking to.
I got
Man, you've been getting a lot of talking
Man.
tos lately.
I've been getting ripped on. Here, I'll share it. Everybody want to see it?
Yeah, let's see
See
it.
it. Let's.
Okay. So I got my other channel, Born 100 Years Too Late, and I try to upload a video once a week, and it's usually just about where I go and this and that, and then I always got dogs with me. But anyway, this guy commented on my video, and nope, that's the wrong one. That's the second one. Let me get the first
That's
one.
his OnlyFans account.
My OnlyFans.
Oops.
Okay. So he says, this is long. And that, you got to understand, a lot of times I just ignore these guys. I just, I'll either push a heart, say I love the comment or something. I usually ignore them. But anyway, he writes, episode 372, talking about snow and cold being worse than heavy rains and wet. Glad to hear some truth from these houndsmen busting your old myths. And so I write back, what are you talking about? And he writes, I believe you called me a snowflake hunter. W podcast 372, scenting conditions with large amounts of packs tested, busted old myth from well-respected houndsmen. And I wrote back, I said, laughing out loud, hurt your feelings? Of course, I was being a smart aleck there. And then he said, no feelings. I stated the scientific reasons behind cold snow leaving no scent. They doubled my personal experience talking back to world hunts. Snow and cold, only a few catches, rain and wind. Wind, almost no issues. Had to bring your posse attention to it. Teach them correctly. I said, laughing out loud, there are all kinds of conditions people have to deal with. I really can't remember what was said, but I can tell it must have bothered you. The only thing I can say is we can just look at the facts. What does a dry ground lion hound sell for compared to a snow hound? I'm sure there are, I cut that out, conditions. I think I said conditions we all have to deal with. And it says, if I called anyone a snowflake, I was just joking. I have good friends that will only hunt snow, but they are honest about the advantages. He said, I'll take that, yet warm versus cold snow is my point. Do you enjoy watching History Channel Mountain Man? We replaced one legend for truth. Now it's time for the Houndsman. I said, no, I don't watch it. And again, what are you talking about? We replaced. So what the guy was getting at, he's threatening me for something. I don't know, going to replace me?
Oh, spears for everyone.
So he said, this is what he says. We, as in the members of the associations, I wonder if my funds transferred from DU payment to ND. What is ND? Sorry, we have the power and are starting to demand truth from people of self-given positions of power. Let me tell you something. On the podcast, W Hunting Supply does support me, but if they ever told me what I could say and what I couldn't say, it wouldn't work. And he said, you keep laughing. I will have the last laugh. All I was asking for is truth, even citing your own information sources. Don't make you research. I guess you know-it-alls know it all. I said, laughing out loud. I will keep laughing. My name is Brett Vaughn. I don't hide. Give me your name and we can talk. I wasn't even on episode 372. Don't threaten me. Laughing out loud. You have no power over what I say or do. And I said, you can come on our live stream tonight at 6 and state your case if you want to. And he never answered. And I said, kind of what I thought, a snowflake. And he said, I can't, I'm in town, Wi-Fi bill to pay, my current user. And I said, what is SM? I didn't know what that is. That's social media. And I said, what's your whole name? All in caps. But anyway, I don't know. I should have ignored him.
If you can get his mailing address, I'll make a sign and you can send it to him. Then if he comes on, he can wear it and we'll know who he is. It'll be nice. It'll be a string around his neck, and it'll be a cardboard, and I'll write on there, "Soy chiple." And everybody that knows Spanish will say, "Oh, look it, there's a crybaby."
So cheaply. It was probably Chris teasing me. Now Chris
Uh-oh.
isn't talking again.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit
he's
mute.
practicing.
I hit mute. I hit mute because I was looking for a song for us. Listen. My posse.
My posse. Jeez.
My posse. Because you got to inform your posse. You got to inform your posse.
Yeah. So I don't know what the guy was getting at. I don't think I ever called a snowflake. That sounds like something Benny would say, not like something I would say.
Well, that episode with Bear Segusa with the Hound podcast and Becky Dwyer talking about breeding and puppies and stuff.
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't even the right. I don't know what he's talking about either.
I don't know, but evidently, people get their feelings hurt sometimes.
They know it all.
You never know what somebody's going through either, Brett. He might have been having a flare up of menopause right there in that instant.
Probably.
Could have been.
His first wife could have been giving him trouble too.
Forgot his hormone pills that day.
So what else?
I was hoping he'd come on.
I would too. I'd like to hear. I mean, I'm sure. I can't believe that I ever said that all snow condition scenting is good, because sometimes it freezes and locks that scent down, I'm sure. And
it does.
Yeah. So I don't know. I believe me, if we got snow out here, I would be out there hunting in snow. I would hunt in whatever conditions we had, but we just don't have it.
Yeah.
And honestly, when we do get a snow, it hurts probably more than it helps. The only thing it does help is you can see the track and you can see which way the line's going, and then if dogs have a luge, you can kind of help them. But welcome to
Line's
the
a line in a
Olympics.
tree, no matter how you catch it.
That's right, guys. There's Jim. Welcome to the Victim Olympics. Am I a victim now? No, I got somebody else picking on me.
Were you bullied?
I'm bullied. I'm gonna have to go get help.
I was
string was hanging. Oh, that's pretty good.
Maybe he's listening to us tonight. Well, that was on.
I'm gonna steal that one sometime. Can't wait to. I'm gonna go writing back right now. I'm sorry. I've been informed that your string was probably hanging out.
I'm gonna get some shirts made up. I'm gonna get some hats made up. We can wear that every time someone whines.
Sorry.
We see your string.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. That just tickled me.
We're already got off the rails.
Yeah. That's part of drug guns. You don't see those jackasses. No, you don't. And you don't see a lot of those tracks and stuff that your dogs are trashing on.
Another example of a fine warrior.
Do what, Benny?
Just another example of a fine keyboard warrior.
The guy, I don't know. I don't know. He probably just, like I said, he probably got his feelings hurt somehow. Something we said kind of hurt him.
Ruffled his feathers.
He had his string hanging.
Tugged on his string. He tugged on his string.
Oh, me. Who was it that said that? Thank you. I've needed a good laugh. Timothy
Timothy DeBoard.
So
when I was in the hospital with the Rona, and they had me hooked up to a catheter, somebody came by the bed and stepped on my catheter hose there, and I know if his string hangs out and gets stepped on and it feels anything like that, that would make me a little cantankerous too.
What did he just step on it for a second, or did he?
Well, yeah, because once I changed my pitch of the way I was screaming, they knew something was up.
He said he's. Jeez, you were in the hospital for a long time with the Rona, weren't you?
Yeah, I was away from home for 68 days between the hospital and a nursing home.
Just too tough, Benny. Too tough.
I didn't feel tough then. Good gosh, I didn't feel tough.
Not many people can survive those gender changing operations. Live to tell them. He got rid of his string
Hey, I got
altogether.
back.
Yeah, don't get him to show you his bag. I made it just a hair late. Bill, who has two first names?
Bill does.
Actually, that's a first name and a second name. He was named after his
Yeah.
twin brother.
It's my brother Bill. It's my other brother Bill.
When are we going to make our big announcement? We don't have.
It's your show.
I'll wait until after 6. We don't have a special
Yeah.
guest. You can tell we don't get that many people in here when we don't have a special guest. Chris is the one that his podcast on, or whatever you call it, his live show on Wednesday nights, really doing good. I wish I could join it every now and then, but I have a hard enough time one time a week.
You know, Heather Robertson kind of criticized me a little bit and schooled me, so I'm gonna try to do better. Just for
What
Heather.
do you? Oh yeah, but you know, Bill.
I was doing this. I had Rowdy talking a story, you know, and I was looking down
There you
trying to
go.
get Jared on. Only cool people. There you go.
So you were being rude by not giving Rowdy your full attention.
Yeah, but it's just Rowdy.
Rowdy, he's a good guest. Where is he tonight?
Yeah. Oh,
Night Train. Look at this guy. Who is Night Train? He's got his picture right there.
That just sounds like a cheap whiskey you buy at Circle K for 99 cents.
Night Train?
Wild Turkey.
Don't, you're going to... We already got everybody else mad at us. There's Mike Molina. I'm here, Brett. Just got back from Pack Trip with Mike. Mike who? Which Mike?
Mike Roots.
Oh, with Mike Root?
I don't know, maybe. What other Mike is there they're going to talk about? That Dale and Heather said that's their favorite interview with you is Mike Roots.
Oh, Mike, I could sit and talk to him forever. I mean,
and then you got Kelly Berry. Kelly Berry could be a man or a woman.
I'm going to go with
very
a woman.
gender neutral name.
I'm going to go with a woman for that comment.
I don't know these days.
Well, really, anymore, I don't care.
Let's just pick on all the comments. If you guys,
there you go. What's the name of your podcast, Chris? Plug your podcast.
Oh, it's on Anecdote of a Houndsman. I call it free casting because it never goes. It's kind of like my dogs. You know, I send them out after a lion and we chase coyote and rabbit and elk and deer. Sometimes illegals. Just whatever they come across.
Just whatever.
Yeah. It's a good thing about editing is you could just Photoshop a lion in. What I'm going to do is go lion hunting and Photoshop a bunch of snow in there and tell everybody how easy it is to catch it in the snow.
Jeez. We already got a bad enough reputation.
You got talked about.
Who?
You got talked about over the campfire, Brett.
Oh, with Mike Root? Was it with? Oh, yep, Mike Root.
And you got called out already. Blackbeard Kennels.
Mike had a guy. Were you with him, Mike, when they had to take the guy to the hospital? Otis Llewellyn called me. Said they had to take a guy to the hospital because they packed him in somewhere, and a little snowstorm came in. It got cold, and he got the pneumonia, I guess, and they had to take him out and take him to the hospital.
Older gentleman, I imagine.
Yeah, I think he was an older gentleman.
Any horses? Brett can't find a horse or a mule for sale. That's good.
I almost bought one this last weekend. That's what I did. I went to last weekend. When was it? No, it was Thursday. This last Thursday, I went to a horse sale. I was gonna go ahead and buy me a. Almost bought a pretty nice roping horse. It went for pretty decent money. It was real old, and I say real old. It was 18 years old. It was sound as could be, not a blemish on it, not a knot, nothing, and was finished. Been there, done that. Roping horse. A guy could have gone on him right now, and if you knew how to rope a little bit, you could have won your money back on him, or won the money back that you paid on him. And
a guy, meaning Brett.
A friend of mine that he ropes real good, and he was up there, and he said, well, we're going to be bidding against each other. And so I thought, I didn't want to. It's been a long time since I roped. Huh?
How tall was the horse?
14.3.
Yeah, that's a little short, but it's not short enough. Tyler Klump was talking to me the other day, and he told me what he wants you to do for him, and I said, well, you'll have to mount him on a Shetland. That'll be just the right size, and it'll be perfect. He said he didn't have any horses that small.
Tell Tyler to find me a heel horse, and I'll rope with him in the jackpot roping.
Well, I think what he has
got that bug.
No, sir, I wasn't with him. Oh, okay. Did you hear the story, though, Mike? Okay, here you go. This guy's got a picture of a big old bulldog on his thing. What style hound is ideal for what you boys do? Out of the hounds you're feeding, how many are ideal? 1. I'm feeding 16 of them.
Well, they're all ideal. There's just only one that's the lead dog. I mean, you wouldn't keep them if they weren't ideal. I mean, you have that one running walker that might not be ideal for what you do, but that's just my personal polluted opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think where I had a video. If I had a video I could share. I mean, I'm feeding a lot of dogs, more than I should, really. And
me too.
I mean, but I can take, like I was on a lion track here, I don't know, here a few weeks ago, and I had 9 male dogs out there, and I had 7 dogs opening and moving the track. And to me, I thought that was great. I had 2 dogs that were with them, but they weren't helping at all. So, I mean, I like a cold trailing dog. I just like a dog that'll work a track, and that's what I think I've gotten caught with not catching very many lions, and the dogs haven't really moved a track the way they should because they haven't seen a lion at the end of the track, and I could be wrong. Every time I say that, and then I catch a lion, I think, man, if I wouldn't have known any better, I'd accuse them of trashing. But so that's where I think in the run and walker, I think they're a little more catch-minded, move a track a little faster, but just don't quite have the cold trail ability some of my dogs do. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, Brett, love the Jeff Allen episode. Hunted with him a little, raised a bunch of pups for him. It was good to see him. Oh, thanks, Chris. What, Benny?
It reminds me of a story that Tom White was telling me when he was hunting all the time in the Capitans, and he had a cur, some kind of a cur that he ran with his hounds, and the cur, once the lion got up and running and the race got hot, the cur outran the hounds every time, and so he liked that cur because it would put the pressure on the lion and get him caught. Well, him and the rest of the dogs got to where the lion was caught. The cur had been there for some time by himself, and the lion was up on top of a big boulder, and the cur was laying up there between the lion's front feet. The lion was just laying up there, looking, watching, and that cur was right there between that lion's front legs, deader than a fire. So there's pros and cons to having a single dog like that.
Yeah. Now, I got that half running walker, Jack, that is half blue tick, and the blue tick's from somewhere else. I don't even know where he's from. And then he's running walker, and so far he's just as cold nosed as anything I got. He's a nice dog. Matter of fact, a lot of guys have pups out of him right now, young dogs, and Joel has some, and he's got two. And then what's the name of the other guy out there, Benny? That friends of
Joel's
Joel.
buddy.
White is his
His
last.
name?
Huh?
His last name's White.
Yeah. He has one, and they love them all. Matter of fact, he asking me if I would, what I'd charge for him to breed a bitch to Jack, and if I have any more, he'd sure like to buy them. I told him I'd just get the female down here. I'll let him breed to her or to him. But Joel's like Benny. He's got a little age on him.
Salty.
He's a little long in the tooth. I got an interview coming out with him where I went over and sat down and interviewed him. How old is he? 70-something years old?
Yes, he's got to be in his mid-70s.
Got a 2-year-old daughter.
The blue pill.
I thought he was taking care of his
working.
great-grandkid. We were sitting there interviewing him. I said, "What are you taking care of your great-grandkid?" He said, "No, that's my daughter." I said, "How old are you?" He said, "Whatever, 70-something." I said, "My gosh, how did that happen?" He said, "You know."
He married a younger woman. He was by himself for years and years, and Joel's a good guy. He way back when I didn't have any hounds, I went through a little few years of stretch that I didn't have any hounds. I gave my hounds away, and I was getting the bug pretty bad. And this saddle maker over here is friends with Joel, and he said, "Hey, a buddy of mine's got some pups. He's got too many pups. I can get you a pup if you want one." Well, sure. And that was my trip dog.
Oh, okay.
And of course they ran out of dogs. I guess all the dogs in that litter, they sold them or they died or something, and they all made good dogs. And my dog Trip, and the saddle maker says, "Hey, those guys want that dog back." I said, "Hey, tell those guys to pound sand." And so years later, Joel, I was hunting with Wesley Smith up there, and Wesley had real good dogs, and he was hunting hard, and I was up there quite a bit, and Joel got to paying attention, and so the saddle maker calls me and says, "Hey, Joel wants to know if you'll be willing to breed any of his females to some of your dogs and what you charge him." And I said, "You just tell Joel to man up and call me." And so Joel called me, and I said, "Joel, you gave me a dog one, a pup one time, and if this will help your breeding program and help your genetics, you can just bring your dog down here." "Well, let me pay you." I said, "No, you're not going to pay me." And so he bred a bunch of females to some of my dogs, and I wouldn't have gotten where I got the last time around as fast as I had if I didn't have help. And I think for the right people that we all ought to do what we can to help them.
Oh yeah. Here you go, Benny. Did you read this?
No.
I ate breakfast with you several weeks ago at Wings. I'm a big fellow with overalls and a big straw hat.
He says, "What?" "Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, he's in Artesia, New Mexico."
Let's see. And then Mike Molina, the hunter's with Mike now when Mike got pushed by that lady. Is that the one that was at the tree? They treed that lion in right there by their yard, Mike, or inside their yard? Mike has a pretty good story about that. Waiting for Mike Molina to answer. Okay, what else did I do? I went to the horse sale. I took my 90-year-old father to the horse sale, and he sat there and told me everything
Yeah.
that was wrong with all the horses.
Brett's done with finding a mule. He's looking for a horse now. He got the
Well,
roping bug.
I'd buy a mule. I mean, and I've got a couple mules in my pen. I can keep as long as I want, and I ride them. I don't own them, but a friend of mine, they use them for elk hunting. He said, just use them. He knows that. I mean, the more you use a mule like that, the better he's going to get. So I'd like to have
Someday.
I'd like to have one of those really nice mules. But dadgum, I can't afford one.
I think
There's
you should have bought
the
that
the
$16,000
Matt LaRue.
It's Matt LaRue. He's in Springerville.
Oh, is the Matt LaRue. What's up?
Mhm.
Okay, guys. Is it? Yeah.
Hey, wait.
What?
Before you do that, you see what Blackbeard Kennel said?
Where's he
Let's
at?
see.
I
The
missed some of these.
announcement Stump interview coming out.
What? Hey, it is. I think Thursday. I sent it to DU Supply. It's going to come out as a podcast first, and then I think a week later I'm going to release it on this channel as the video portion of the interview, starring John Clump and Mr. Benny Griffen.
I noticed that they're double playing those too. They put them on W and that other Hound Network or whatever.
Yeah, I guess Houndsman XP started, like, they put their podcast underneath that Sportsman's Nation. And so the Sportsman's Nation owned the platform, and they had, different podcasts underneath that platform. So what I think Houndsman XP did was started their own platform. And so now Houndsman XP has all these other guys underneath their platform. Is the way I understand it. I don't know much about podcasting. And like us, like the podcast that the content I'm gonna supply to W Hunting Supply is under their platform, but then I think they made a deal with Sportsman's Nation too.
I think so too.
I'm not sure. I'm not privy to all that information. I don't want it. I just
finally they're going to get some good content on that other one.
But we're going to get Chris's set up. Some of yours are going to go up there on the W Hunting Supply. Then it'll be on the Sportsman's Nation too. Because I mean, these are good. I don't know if they're podcast material or not. I don't know. That's up to them. But we could take these lives and share them also through the podcast. But I don't. When I start thinking about being a podcast, then I start worried about what we say or what we do, and I don't want to worry about that during these live deals. I like it to be.
That don't last.
Yeah, I like
it to
be just
long here.
Yeah, I just want it to be a free for all. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to have any constraints. Not that they would say anything to me, but if I want to show a video of something, or us talking about the comments where we just put them up on the screen, or that might not work real good as a podcast. I don't know. But when we have like Mike Leonard on here, that's a good podcast. Jeff Allen, that would make a good podcast. When we have guests, I think it's good. And then like when you do your podcasts on a Wednesday night and you just have a one-on-one with somebody, those make good podcasts. When we got a whole bunch of people in here, it's I don't think it would convert as well to a podcast. Might be wrong. You guys,
never know.
How many of you guys that are in here, let us know How many of you guys listen to podcasts?
See, I'm a podcast guy because I drive a lot.
That's me. I listen to lots of podcasts. Hey, did you listen to the Joe Rogan Tucker Carlson podcast?
I have not yet.
Ooh,
What is
best
it?
one.
3 hours? 4 hours?
4 hours. Best one I've ever heard. Best. I mean, of course, I like Tucker Carlson. I think he's a honest, truthful guy, and of course, Joe Rogan's Joe Rogan. He doesn't really care what he says.
He's a hunting, fishing fool. Both them guys.
Yeah, it's a good podcast. If you guys get a chance, listen to it. Talk about all that stuff I like, aliens and spiritual beings and conspiracy theories, stuff like that.
They get in some good ones too.
I like it. Let's see, Blackbeard Kennels. I'm ashamed to admit I've probably listened to the Mike Root episode more than 10 times. So no one on here listens to podcasts. I just want everybody to raise their hands or something. Bill.
Missy don't.
What I need to do now that I got Starlink, how would you guys like this? Now that I got Starlink, I can go up to Mike Roots and do a live from Mike Roots.
There's your segue. There's your segue for this weekend.
That would be cool, wouldn't it, guys? Oh, I'm not. Sorry about that, Missy.
Do a lot of podcasts or listen to a lot?
I do a lot of podcasts. He meant listen. He means listen to them. Cool.
Oh, maybe he's a famous guy.
Mike?
I don't know.
Okay.
So what are we doing? So you just segued over to what are we doing this weekend?
Now for our special announcement. Whoa.
Said my camera's too hot. It's
because that fire you got burning in the background.
Yeah.
That's what it is. My campfire heated it up. I have to get another.
Put that fire out.
I might have to.
I listened to some.
It's hot.
I think we all. Well, anyway, the John Clump will be out this Thursday, I believe, and then the video portion. And then after that, I will have. I got the Joel Garnett one, which will come out, and then I'll have the Warner Glenn one that'll come out, and I think I got another one or two that I haven't made public yet. Makes work go by faster. Yeah, that's what I do. I of course, I'll wear I got some of those AirPods or whatever you call them, stick in your ear, and I'll listen to the podcast while I'm piddling around outside cleaning pins or doing whatever. Are you okay, Chris?
He's running around the yard dragging his butt on fire like a hound with worms.
He's like. How did you like that, Broke Dog? That's the best podcast I've ever heard in my life, maybe then besides the Mike Root podcast. That's a good one. We lost Chris.
The Forest Service, Leo showed up with a fire extinguisher and put him out.
I wonder how come his camera got hot. But I still got, it's not like he's disconnected.
No. His lens melted.
Well, Benny, I still haven't got you a microphone or anything. I want to do that. I get you. It comes with a little stand and a mic, and that way you won't have to be looking down your nose at us all the time.
I'm trying to look at the bottom of my glasses to read the comments. Here, I'll just put them up there close.
Well, something's going on with Chris's. Oh, Chris's thing says GoPro now.
Oh, that's just an advertisement. He's trying to get a new camera.
Button control. Oh, look at, there he is. Now we see all his videos that he's made.
He's working fervently.
I'm not going to make the announcement until you're back, Chris.
Hey, we may have to leave him in the dust.
Now he's on ultra
working on
slow-mo.
I know, I'm working on it. Now it's starting to record. Working
This
on
is
it. There we
almost
go.
this is almost as good as when you fell off the horse and left your boot laying in the mud.
Like, can we just forget that?
I can't. It was good.
You better put that fire out back there. You keep eating up your
I did.
camera.
It went out. Oh no, it's still going.
Chris always has all these sound effects. He's always grunting and groaning.
Mold.
This way
Mold.
it's old.
My other camera, I think the battery's bad.
Oh, you had to
cameras.
change cameras?
Yeah, I had the other GoPro and it got hot. No.
Huh. All right. It's 6:20. Oh, where'd it go?
Man.
There you go, guys. I don't think I have ever met Chris in person. Have I, Chris?
Yeah, we had lunch.
See, that's how old I am. I can't remember.
Casa Grande. I think I texted you and you said I'm in Tucson going to Yuma. I said, well, I'm in Phoenix going to Maricopa, and we met in Casa Grande there.
That's been quite a few years ago, hasn't it?
Like 2 years, yeah.
Yep. Anyway, we're gonna all be together, and we're setting it up where we can do a live. We're not exactly sure what time, but we might go live Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, or we might be live all day long. But we'll try to put out some kind of notifications, and we're going to be in Douglas. They're having what they call the Earn Your Spurs. Kelly Gimbro Glenn is putting it on, or she's one of the organizers of it, I think. And Benny's the one who told me about it, and they said they'd love for us to come down. And we've never all three been together in person to do this. So we're going to rig it up where we're all in person, and hopefully, we'll get to sit down and talk to Kelly. And there's supposed to be some other people there that of interest, right, Benny?
Yes. This whole deal started out with Kelly's mom. I don't remember what it was called, but Wendy started a deal to help kids out in the agricultural community. And when Wendy passed away, Kelly's daughter Mackenzie, she kind of picked it up and she started changing it. And so now, most recently, Kelly and Mackenzie do it together, and it's getting pretty big. Friday there's going to be a ranch rodeo. Saturday there's going to be a ranch rodeo. There's going to be food trucks galore. At some point there's a professional bull riding. I don't know what the schedule is for that. Kelly, I told her that we were going to do this and maybe set up live, and she says, "Oh, perfect. Don't do it where your RV's going to be. That's at the other end of the fairgrounds." She said, "Wait, we'll get it set up under the shade of a tree up where a building will block the wind, so it'll be better for your sound system." She says, "And right where everybody's coming and going, and that way Mackenzie and her will have time to sit down and visit with us, and other people may stop in." And that's exactly what we're talking about when Brett and I first talked about this, and Chris is in there, and it'll be fun just to have some of the people sit down and just visit with us. And there's a guy that Kelly told me, and I can't remember his name. She said he's an older guy that was a lion hunter at he lives in Show Low, and he's going to be in a, I don't know if he'll be in a RV or a living quarters horse trailer, but he'll be right there by me. So we'll meet him, and we may figure out what's going on with him. But the Clumps are going to have their Dos Cabezas Cattle Company team at the Ranch Rodeo, I think on Friday, and those guys are really good. The first time I saw the whole clump bunch together, well, most of them, was at a Wilcox Ranch Rodeo, and they ran away with it. John supplied the livestock, and they had to. Let's see, what was it? I think for the wild cow milking, they used longhorn cows. Those cows had 6 and 7 foot, 8 foot spreads. Those clump boys were the only ones that could throw a loop big enough to catch the whole entire head. But
is that showing up on screen?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
It's going to be a real good deal, and the whole purpose for this Earn Your Spurs is to raise money for children and students that help them with their education issues and stuff that are from the farming and ranching communities.
Looks like fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We lost Chris again.
Oh, my camera. I don't know what's going on now.
Just this voice coming out of a black spot.
He's flashing it.
Yeah, but I never really do anything like that, and I'm looking forward to it. And my wife's gonna come, and we'll be there the whole time.
It's coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Sunday morning, for people that want to sleep in, if they don't, they're going to have a church service to start things out Sunday morning. And other than that, I think everything starts around 8 or 9 o'clock Friday and Saturday. But I'm sure it's on that schedule. I haven't studied it. I'm going to be there Thursday, so I'll just be there the whole time.
We're coming in probably Friday afternoon, something like that. When are you going to be down there, Chris?
I'm shooting for Friday. I'm trying to not make anybody be at my job Friday. If not, I just won't be at my job Friday.
Cool.
So
I don't know.
I'll be down Friday. I just don't know how late.
Put his bare fat.
Look, they're asking.
Soap logo up there. Which one is that?
Didn't you try to find that?
Yeah,
me sitting on there with my big muscles and belly. My soap ad. Let me
see.
Nicholas's wife made. Can you even find that? Been a while.
I was gonna say. If I can find it, I know I had it on here somewhere.
Tim Clump said he's going to have a goat roping every evening. That's why he wants Brett to show up with his goat rope so they can win money.
I can honestly say there's probably nobody in the world that's roped a goat more than I have. Well, sorry, Chris. Your picture is not available.
You guys are stuck. You guys are stuck with me.
I know. I
burned up with it.
Let me see here. See, this is where this wouldn't be good for.
Now, and it's also depending on if we can get any system working down there too. It's going to be kind of a pilot run.
Yeah, I don't know about about the Starlink. It should work fine, shouldn't it?
Should.
Chris?
I got my Starlink too, so it's not like we're internet poor. We'll try to go live. Our goal is to go live.
Yeah. But I'm sure we can make it happen. I mean, that
Yeah.
shouldn't be a problem. But what else? What else do we got going on?
I don't
Nothing.
got no videos coming out. No,
Why? What's your
busy.
problem?
It's work. Work. So my dad makes me work. I don't like it. Working's for poor people.
Got to pay the bills.
Yeah. But it's getting hot down here. It's time to head back north.
Stay up
And
in
this
the high
job was
country.
supposed to be done by here the next month, but it looks like it's not going to be done till August.
What happened to the name Stomping Grounds? That's what we need to call it. The Stomping Grounds.
Mm-hmm.
There you
So
go.
we got
And
I'll change it. The Stomping Grounds.
we got the week this weekend. I think we're kind of I'm pretty sure we're booked for August 24th and 25th in Young, Arizona.
Yeah. Oh, and this,
So you guys will.
well, we're going to be live next weekend there from that Earn Your Spurs Ranch Rodeo. We won't go on Monday night. This might be the last episode I have from this office that I'm in right now, because I built an office, or I say I built it. I had a guy build me an office out at my house, and I got the Starlink. And since Chris has been having so much good luck with the Starlink, I think I can get away with using Starlink to get on the internet, and we'll do our lives from out there. That way, I don't have that 20-minute drive home or 20-minute drive in. So it'll be handier. It'll be nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
I hope so.
Wife's never gonna see you now.
I'll be out there in that container. It's a shipping container converted into a storeroom.
Goes my camera again.
There you go.
I don't know what it's doing.
Man.
I always use that other camera.
Do you have any problems like this when you're on your own podcast? Or
No,
live show?
The other camera overheated though. I don't know if it's the battery or.
You need to just break down and buy you one of these webcams like I got.
Oh, it's been working good. I don't know what the heck.
This one I got cost $90, and
I've been looking at them.
It's a Razer. Has really good.
Different battery.
Looks good.
Getting hot. The camera's getting hot too.
Put a little fan on it.
I might have to. Try it again with a different battery.
Or like I said, put that fire out back there in the back.
I hope when he comes back on that his boots laying in the dirt beside him.
They're off. 72%.
72% is that?
Well, now it's not hooking up to the.
Well, this is just like a podcast version. We'll have Chris as a podcaster, and we'll be live.
I'm working on it.
I'm looking for Chris's picture, so we'll at least have something to look at instead of
like, we should probably talk about something too.
Yeah, we need to have the.
Benny, tell us some stories, Benny. I know
tell us a good story, Benny.
I told my wife between here and town, we live 7 miles outside of a town of 900, and between here and town, I said, "Hey, there's a dog box at that guy's house over there," and got a dog box in the back of his little Toyota pickup. And so I was at my grandson's baseball game Saturday night, and a guy walks up to me and he says, "Hey, you had hounds?" I said, "Yeah, I had hounds." He says, "This guy right down there in front of you, he's got hounds." I said, "Really? What's he do?" "I don't know. He's got hounds." And so after the game was over, I said, "Hey, I understand you're my neighbor and you got hounds." "I don't know. Where do you live?" So we talked, and I said, "So what do you do?" "Well, he works in the oil field, and on his time off, he hunts bears, and I think he tries to hunt lions. I think he's been hunting in the snow when it's available, and he guides elk. So him and somebody else are partnered in this deal." And he says, "You interested in hounds?" I said, "Yeah, I used to be." And he says, "Well, you should come by sometime, and I'll tell you about it." I thought this will be fun. So at some time I'm going to go over there and just have a little fun. But I just wonder about some of these guys sometimes. I said, "Where'd you get your dogs?" He says, "Oh, I just got them from here or there." Okay. He
Okay.
hasn't heard of any. No.
Excuse me. I was going through these pictures looking for Chris's. Let's see if I can share this correctly. I might have done it before. I had a game camera up on top of a saddle up on the mountain. And the neighbor, that looks like that back cinch when I fell off the mule, doesn't, or off the horse, doesn't it, Benny?
Yeah.
But I want you to note the time. This rancher was he had hounds too, and his hounds were with him. On the 5th of February at 10:15, he rode through where I had this game camera on top of that saddle, or in that saddle. The trail went right through there. Now,
You see that look?
that lion
So
came through 3 hours later, going the same direction he was going.
Following them.
He was following them. That lion knew they were there.
Oh yeah, watched them ride right by
They're-
him.
They're curious.
Yes, sir. That lion was. 3 hours later, there he is again. It's a little bitty lion.
The lions are sneaky.
Yeah, right there.
Sneaky.
So if there's anybody going to be in the area where they can swing down to Douglas this next weekend, that world famous John Clump, he'll be there hanging around too.
John will be there, and you'll get to listen to his interview. Hopefully,
Thursday, you said.
it'll be out Thursday. And
On W?
on W Hunting Supply Podcast. But we'll go ahead and later on we'll share the video portion of it. It's a good story. I mean, he tells the story about catching the jaguar, which is real interesting.
Is Warner going to be around or no?
I don't know, Benny.
I do not know. I just don't know. But I do know, I told Brett this too. I said, Kelly and Mackenzie will be there, and you'll get to meet them, and I'll say, "Hey, Chris would really like to meet your dad, Kelly," and she'll say, "Well, we'll have to come by the house sometime." And that's how it'll go.
Yeah.
He might make an appearance there for one day, I bet.
Yeah, I haven't asked her. I don't have a clue. He's a people person. I don't know how much his hearing in those big group settings like that bothers him. No.
The good thing is Benny's bringing his marker, so he'll sign baby or hat or your dog autograph. Yeah. We might
I'm
even
bringing
put him
my
in a
land.
kissing booth.
Jeez.
I'm taking a land yacht down there so that it's big enough for Chris to have a place to sleep.
I was just bringing my bedroll, throwing it on the ground.
I invited my wife, so we got
Well,
us a
you can do that.
motel room. I was just going to sleep
Yep.
in my rooftop tent. Dadgummit, I can't find that picture. Now you
It's
got
on a
me
mission
on a
to find a
mission.
picture. I know. So
Anyway,
tell us, Benny, weren't you talking about that dog tickle feet stuff they do? You know about that? Well, Century, they take the puppies, and
who was
Becky
talking
Dwyer
about
talks
that on
about
a
it quite a bit.
podcast?
No, I don't
Dwyer's
do that.
done it. Yeah. I think Missy has talked about, said something about it. I don't know. Becky said she's going to come on my podcast when she gets free time and talk about it.
Who is?
Like, I don't know. I got kids, so they just drag them puppies around by their necks all day long and put them up.
Well, I'll be.
Is that
I don't know how much more sensory you can get. You basically, I don't know. Becky talks about it. Something. What is it, Missy? I know Missy knows.
Becky Dwyer?
Something sensory. Yeah. she was just on. Well, she was just on the one of the podcasts again too. But
Did you?
she's on
Was
Old
Cleve?
Bears.
Cleve came on yours, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, Becky and Cleve came on mine for Valentine's Day, and then Cleve just came on a few weeks ago. So, and then Becky, I got to call her and see. I'm trying to get him this week. But I know Missy knows. I thought Missy or somebody on here said they did that. Something, I don't know. Something sensory.
What's it supposed to do,
Some weird
Chris?
thing people do.
I mean, what do you do and what is it supposed to do?
Make it better. I don't know. I just keep thinking of tickling their feet. Like it's some weird or the. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm trying to get Becky on.
But do
Because
you,
she's going to
do
go
you
over
be-
it. She's talked about it before.
do you believe it works?
I'm sure Missy. I don't know where Missy's at right now eating dinner.
You're
but
sure? Maybe.
I don't know if it works. I've never.
Did you really
I
say
pet bugs
that?
and I
I'm
go out and
sure.
feed 'em.
Maybe.
Sure, maybe it works. That's how I can get out of it. I didn't say it did, and I didn't say it didn't.
So what's it
I don't know
supposed
why.
to do? Is it supposed to make suffer?
I think it's supposed to bring you closer to the dog, and I don't remember. I'd have to look. I just know she's talked about it.
So you become as one with your animal.
See,
My
Missy
daughter was
knows. I'm
looking
pretty sure she.
My daughter was looking for a cur pup, and I didn't have any. I said, "Get you a cur pup, but it'll take, 4 or 5 months." And she wanted one then, so she heard of some people. I think somewhere around Truth or Consequences that had a litter of pups, and she went over there, and there was a whole house full of little kids, and they were violating those pups. They were sticking their fingers in their nose and in their eye and in their mouth and right in their tailpipe. And I mean, she said they were really those pups. And she took one of those pups. And that was the goofiest, most idiotic dog. It's like it did something. So be careful how much of that kind of poking and prodding you do to your pups, because I can tell you that cur wasn't worth the 20 shot.
Hey, Missy, that it's when you play with the dog's feet or you called something sensory for puppies. I thought Missy talked about it one time. Yeah, the 2 sets of twins method works real good. Who that?
That's that kid. That's Booger
Look like
right there. And
like an 8 or a
Sissy
10.
and Sheila Puppy. Me and that kid caught that lion up on top of a big mountain out there by the river. And you see that gun he's carrying right there.
Is that
Those
an
dogs,
AR-10?
I don't know what it was, but
Oh.
he couldn't have been 11 years old. And we're climbing. We tied the horses off, and we're climbing up the side of that mountain. Those dogs have that lion bayed up there on them. I looked at him and I said, "You don't have a bullet in the chamber, do you?" He said, "No." I said, "Man, don't you do anything until I tell you." And that scared me to death. That big old 20 round magazine he had on that thing, and all those dogs, and no place in the world for that lion to get away from those dogs.
So,
Dude,
Missy, is that physical therapy? Do you work on their feet? That's what Chris was talking about.
I'm trying to ask, I'm trying to get hold of, I'm texting Cleve right now, what it is.
Send him a link. Tell him to come on. I'll send him a link. I do have his phone number.
I'm trying
somewhere.
here. Now we're kind of slow tonight.
I know. I'm kind of, well, I wasn't very prepared.
We need answers.
A lot of things
That's what
going
we
on.
need. Oh man, that's why I made a video every week. Just work, and last week I had a doctor appointment, so I had to go back to the mountain. Then I just did a bunch of stuff around the house, catching up on stuff.
We
Ran down to Young Sunday.
We just need everybody who comes on our podcast to send in $100, and then you won't have to work, Chris.
I know. I don't see why. Just every week.
Every week, send in $100.
Trying to get. I don't know why people can't just drop what they're doing when I need something. This is ridiculous, Becky Dwyer. Ridiculous.
Who says what?
I'm trying to. What is it? We better start talking. Everybody's going to leave us.
I know. I'm just trying to find that picture.
Brett's trying to find a picture. I'm trying to get hold of Becky Dwyer.
I need to have, just bear with us, folks. We're kind of unorganized tonight.
I was with a guy out here. I was with a guy out here years ago with a bunch of pups, and we were just out goofing around out here in the plains, and we got into a salt cedar thicket out in the middle of nowhere, and those pups were snorting around out there, and they put a bobcat up in a tree. And, I always like a good race, and so I started climbing up that salt cedar and going to knock that bobcat out of there. Well, that saddle maker friend of mine, he started having a stroke. Yeah, that is a good-looking lion.
He's pretty.
He started having a stroke. Oh, yeah. He started yelling and cussing and carrying on. Get down out of the tree. He said, I know you get in the tree with a lion, but nobody gets in the tree with a bobcat. He'll get on you. I know other people get in the tree with a lion. Nobody's in the tree with a lion. And he's screaming, and I'm starting to laugh at him. And now I'm gasping for air. I'm laughing too hard, and I'm going to fall out of the tree. And he starts screaming, if that bobcat kills you, how am I going to get you out of here? I can't drag you through this and get you back out of the house. And what am I going to tell your wife? And so I'm just laughing and laughing and laughing. And I get up there and I start smacking that bobcat on the head. And where's Suki dog?
Who's Suki?
Anyway,
Suki, I got a dog named Suki. Who is that? Knows about Suki. She's like one of my favorite dogs I've ever raised, and she's never been on a lion. No, I take that back. She has been on a lion.
The one down in the river?
She might have been on the river lion, or she might have been on that. Well, the lion we didn't catch. I made a video, but I just left it private. Or I just put it up. I got a Patreon account, and then also on my YouTube, Born 100 Years Too Late, you can become a member. Costs you like $1 a month, and I share some content on privately right there. Just I don't know. I was on a private ranch, and I just didn't feel like sharing it everywhere.
Trying to find some.
Basuki, she's one of my favorite. She's just the most natural trail hound I've had. She's trashy right now, but she really, really, really trails good. And trails like if she barks right here, the next time you hear her bark, it's going to be, 20 yards that way. It's not going to be bark here and come back here and bark again, then go up there and then come back here and bark again. She's always moving it forward. I can't find your picture, Chris.
I don't know. It's getting hot over there, Brett.
Where I'm
No
at,
more. Yeah.
88 degrees, I think, yesterday.
It was 90 here. When I got my truck, it's 4, but I think it only got to about 96, 93, 90. It's hot. Hot.
Yeah, I'd like to get up into some high country. One of the biggest problems I got right now is I don't have these terrorists that I got. I don't have them broke off of bears, and I've never ran bears with them. But I've been down here in this desert. I didn't have to worry about it, and man, they're a handful anyway. So I know once I get up there, it's just going to be a struggle.
Rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes. I don't worry about rattlesnakes very much. We got so many
coming out.
Not last year, but year before last, I killed 3 or 4 right in my kennels.
They like a greyhound with longer hair.
Oh yeah, Saluki. A Saluki is it's a speed dog, a greyhound. They have a lot of endurance. They have a lot more distance. Greyhound's real fast for a short distance, and a Saluki has a lot of they call it distance. They can run for a long ways. That's Seth Hall from the Houndsman XP. Matter of fact, he's got some really cool videos on YouTube. Houndsman XP TV, I think they call it. If you get a chance, go over there and check those out. He flies a drone, and he's got that. It's first person drone or whatever, and he gets to watch those. It makes some really cool video. It really does. I used to have a bunch of. I used to run coyotes, so I wasn't much on running jackrabbits, but I ran coyotes with those sighthounds. I think we've talked about that before here.
Brett sent me a drone, but I had time to fly it at work, and when I try to fly it at work, they shut me down because it's next to an Air Force base.
We got I got a drone, and my nephew, matter of fact, Missy, I think you watched it. My nephew, the boy who made that video about me, he got a new drone, and he had that drone, and the new drone that he got for free. So he offered me his old drone, which is basically like brand new. And I knew Chris didn't have one, so us YouTubers stick together.
Yep.
So I sent it to Chris.
Now, if I can just get out of the no-fly zone, stupid Air Force.
They don't want your drone flying around with their jets.
I guess not. Sissies.
Imagine that.
I was gonna put it in that race zone or the mode. What is that mode?
Hey, Chris.
Super fast.
Harold wants to know what kind of hounds you run and what game you're catching.
Oh, What game? What game don't they run? Try
Where
to
do they
run
catch?
lions. But I like bear hunting still, so I'll go back up and bear hunt. So look at Benny froze. I just snap it right there and leave it.
Look at this. This is me hunting with the lady from the Houndsman XP. I took them down there coon hunting on the river. What was her name? Lauren? Lauren?
From the Houndsman XP. Oh, she don't do it no more, does she?
She's not with them anymore. I don't know.
No.
She brought a bunch of blue dogs. Look at that fancy headlamp.
Yeah, that's coon hunter stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
I just got a dumb flashlight. Can't hardly see 20 feet. Makes it more interesting when I'm crossing the stream. Man, I haven't coon hunted in a long time. Used to be kind of religious, just go down on the stream right next to me. And I need to get my pups down there, though.
Got quite a few coons down there.
There used to be, and then you got people come in and kill them all, trap them, and then no one hunts there for a while, and then it grows over, and then somebody goes in there and realizes there's some more coons in there, and then they do the same thing. So, but it's all private property. You kind of have to know how to get in there. You know, they don't have it blocked off, but some of it is. It's been a long time. I need to get my boys coon hunting. What I need to do. Well, they used to go with me years ago, but they were only like 4 or 5, and they'd fall asleep by 10.
I just don't like that it happens in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you get older and want to get up at 3 and go lion hunting.
I get up about 4 every morning anyway. Got that old man thing. That's when you got to get up and pee, so you might as well just stay up.
Oh, there's the boss.
Res Hounds. Someone who was it told me. I had a guy commented on one of my videos, said that Res Hound took him and got him a lion. Forget the guy's name now.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
What's Res Hound doing? Put him on. What's going on up there? Is he hunting now?
You want to come on, Calvin?
Anywhere. Where are the tulips?
What does MTF stand for?
Maybe it's an upside down W.
He's got the W further down there. Sonny Passmore.
He was on before. I think we were talking crap about him, about something. Maybe he's the one you called a snowflake.
We didn't call him a snowflake, did we? If I did, I'm sorry.
We're going to find you, snowflake. Sonny.
To answer
we
the question,
talked to Sonny before.
My mother came in town just for the night from Phoenix, and my first wife said, "Hey, you can't be taking up the whole kitchen area because me and your mom want to visit." So my son and his wife and their kids live next door. Like you can see the little heathens back here behind me. So I got put in one of the spare rooms as a dungeon, and now I'm invaded by these little heathens.
By the goblins.
Hey, why don't you guys put your finger in that wheel and see if it makes it sound like a pirate?
They're going to get you for child abuse.
Yeah, stick your tongue on it. Stick your tongue on it.
You can't.
The funny thing is they did it.
Oh, yeah. That's the cool thing about kids these days. You can get them to say anything.
I like that. Seasoned gentleman.
What do you mean by seasoned? Salty?
Older.
What you guys do? No, don't
get him.
Loosen it up.
Means
Bring
we're
the
older.
spear.
Means we're older than dirt.
Bring the spear. Get the spear, Benny.
Benny's going to
The
be
only thing you can
reprimanded grandkids.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for your work on
They're
those
the
Dell Lead YouTube
me.
videos.
All right, you guys out of here?
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. You're not.
Oh, good.
Hey, Brett, what are you doing with that special upload? You gonna get hold of that guy to come on?
Which special upload?
The guy got a tape from Dell Lead that he made just for him.
Yeah, I got to get it. I want, I don't want to share it until after I get Eric on. And he works a lot and he works out of town. So I need to set that up. After tonight's deal, I'll have a couple weeks. So maybe I'll call him this week and see if I can set him up for a week from this next Monday. And we'll see if we can get him on here, kind of explain how he got it and about the CD and everything, because it's a unique one nobody's ever heard before, and I think it'd be pretty cool. But he's the one who owns it, and he gave me permission to share it on through the podcast and also on the YouTube thing here.
Yep. What was the best dog you guys bred? My second time around, my first time around, I got some dogs from a guy, old school, no GPS, nothing. This is back in like 96.
They've been on
I don't know. And they were Bam Bam walkers. I didn't know none of that stuff back then. He just said, here's some dogs. And I got divorced and gave him back the dogs. Then in about 2005, I got some other dogs from the Salazars, or I acquired some dogs from the Salazars, and I acquired one of each of their line. So I got like kind of the newer and the older line. And then both the Salazar boys died.
Oh,
And there's
wow.
only, according to his nephew, there's only another other guy that has the old line too.
What happened to him, Chris?
Tim, from what I hear, slept with the wrong woman. And he got murdered over in Christopher Creek, I believe. And then Andy, he died of cancer. And that's kind of not a funny story, but Andy was real weird about his dogs. I think he's one of them guys who likes to spay and neuter his dogs before he lets anybody have them. And he wanted a dog back because we fixed its eye and it was a little pup. And I got another dog from another guy, and he wasn't happy about that. So I had a breeding pair of his dogs. And at one point he said, breed that dog to that dog. And then a year later, 2 years later, I said, hey, do you want one of these pups? Since I got them from you, And he said, well, who you breeding? I said, this dog, this dog. Oh, that's brother and sister. 2 years ago they weren't, so I don't know how they magically became, but I thought he's mad at me, and I didn't talk to him. He didn't talk to me for a year or two, and I bumped into his nephew down there. I'm like, man, Andy's mad at me. He won't answer my calls or nothing. He goes, oh, no, Andy died a year ago, cancer. So I thought he was just mad at me, but
There's Jack.
So
That's that half blue tick, half running walker, and he trees good. And that's Al, right there. He's out of Jazz, which I got from Benny, and Benny just disappeared. Now he's back. And Booger, my old dog, and Booger's probably, what's good about Booger is not only is he a good individual, he'll go catch you a lion, he'll cold trail, he'll pick up his head and move a track, but he throws good puppies. And
so how do you get them to be as trashy as possible? Not be as trashy? Lay around at home and blow something out of the tree ASAP.
Well,
that's how you get them to be trashy, but
trashy. I allow mine to be trashy. And I kind of have a different I don't catch a lot of lions. I'm not in an area that has a lot of lions. And I probably
If you
don't have
don't,
to do it, but I let my dogs, if I'm not 100% sure, I let them trail. And I try to put a real good handle on my dogs. And then when I decide that, if they're messing with the wrong thing, I can holler at them and they'll quit it. They won't hardly quit a lion track though. So it's kind of how I determine what we're doing. I don't know if it's right or wrong. A lot of guys, I've heard Benny's probably the same way. Say, well, you don't have to put up with that. You can break them. If I was in better lion country, I think I wouldn't allow them to bark on anything that's that I knew was trash or I suspected was trash. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Benny?
I think
Yeah.
So I just holler, hey, guys, and I mean, for instance, I was, I just told this story the other day. I caught an old female lion up on the mountain, and I had left that morning. I was on horseback, of course, or muleback, and I was free casting my dogs, and I was riding up this little 2-track road, about to go hit a trail and go up, and they started trailing. They started trailing down into this canyon, and I watched them, and I didn't like what they were doing, but they were trailing, but they were trashing. They were trailing a coyote. I know they were. And I got mad and I shocked them. Bam, 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 bam. Shocked them. And they all came running back to me. I turned and went up the trail, and it probably wasn't 10 minutes later. Here they go trailing again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I look up in front of them, and there's another dang coyote. And I mean, I just lit them up that time. I lost my temper. And I got mad, and I lit them up pretty hard. And they all squalled, and how they do. They all come and get right underneath your mule. They all came, and I thought, oh, yeah, I've ruined the day. They're all going to be. It wasn't 30 minutes later, I was going up through there. Bah, bah. They start trailing again. And automatically, I just think, oh, those dirty boogers. They're trailing another coyote. But one of my famous sayings, they were trailing and they were going the same way I want to go, so I just let them keep trailing. And they trailed up the side of the mountain up there, and I looked and I seen the lion. They trailed up around that lion. They're about 20 yards off, and I can't tell the whole story, but they ended up catching that lion in a little cave hole, and she got way back in there, but that shock in them on those 2 coyotes did not keep them from trailing that lion up and catching it.
Yeah, didn't deter them at all.
No, they just went back to working. And where I'm always scared I'm going to ruin a dog, but I think it was Dale Lee that told Steve Smith that time, said, you don't have to put up with that with those dogs. You don't have to put up with that. So, does that sound right, Benny?
Yep.
So
and you don't. It just depends. But you just got to keep going.
And every dog's an individual too. I mean, I'm sure that there's some that are a little more timid than others that might.
Well, you got to pay it to some guys like them timid dogs, and some guys don't like the timid dogs, but some guys like gritty dogs.
There you guys go. Here's a cheater. That's cheating right there. That's cheater. Snow hunting.
Dust. That's worse than cheater dust.
Yep, that is cheating right there.
Just
don't tell anybody I was doing it.
Didn't Kelly and them get that? You can't drag down there where they are.
They got old Bency was down there dragging close to where they were hunting, I think, and they got a rule made where you can't drag roads in that country.
Does that mean the Border Patrol can't drag roads?
No, they're not lion hunting.
Yeah, I don't know,
So you
but
just have to follow the border patrol. When I was down south last year, they were dragging them every 2 days. Nice, big drags too, man.
You
Border
know,
Patrol,
Big
yeah.
drags.
I don't know that they're dragging. Are they still dragging? Because we were down there a couple of times and they weren't dragging any roads, but they're not doing anything about the illegals either. They're not allowed to.
I don't know. I know they were dragging the crap out of them. And it's a nice little mountainy corridor. It's over there by like Mount Washington and on the west side of the Huachucas. But
There's that
there's no fence right there. So
there's that
it's
dog
easy
I
to
So
come
quite like
across.
in
We
Canada.
found what is it?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was gonna try to show
We
that
f-
dog, but I won't show it.
we I found so many carpet shoes and carpet tracks.
so Tyler wants to know what do you guys would you say that you had a specific breed for your best dogs?
My dogs are all mixed up. They're all part this and that. You know, if I could breed both of my red ticks and probably come out with a blue tick or a Walker looking dog. But that's what the
But
Salazars ran. A little bit of everything. They had a little bit of black and tan. They didn't breed for color. They just bred for nose, I think.
and I think that's the coon hunters and some of the bear hunters with the plots and the walkers and they get into some of the breed specifics and that's okay, whatever works for everybody. I know that Brett's dogs are not breed specific, they're just dogs. um, and I had one purebred registered pardon me, blue tick when I was young and trying to make the transition from hunting bears to hunting lions. And she ended up being a good dog. And she was from, is it, what are the name of it? Is it Powder River Kennels?
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Anyway, it showed a whole lot of her lineage, showed a whole lot of Lee brothers, but they were still back then they were still alive, and so the influence was still there, pretty predominant. But as far as a breed, I've just always and I'll tell anybody that wants to hear, I don't think breed matters as much as whatever it is you
There it
want
is.
to hunt.
There's Chris without his shirt on.
There it is. Yep.
He's almost showing his
Whatever it is you
string
want
right
to
there.
hunt. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Don't go, don't go lower. You ruin my reputation.
if I think if you want to hunt coons, go find coon hunters that are catching coon, producing coon in the climate that you want to hunt coons in. If you want to hunt bears, the same thing. And if you want to hunt lions, the same thing. And pretty soon you'll find out that there's a whole lot of non breed specific dogs out there. And they're just a lot like us hunting the desert southwest. There's a big gene pool out there. It may not be big, it's kind of maybe a shallow gene pool that's real wide. And a lot of these dogs just go back and forth to each other, and every now and then you'll get a different dog thrown into the mix. And people have specific lines, and that's from line breeding when it works and inbreeding when they turn out stupid. But as far as a specific breed, I would say no, but I can tell you about different lines that I had that were successful. But I've also had some real good dogs that came from fluke deals too. I had a dog, a little high tan female a guy gave me, and he wouldn't tell me where she came from. At a year and a half, she was 100% made lion dog. She was leading the charge, and she died at 2.5 with cancer. I put her down. She couldn't be healed. And there's always going to be standout dogs no matter what, as long as you're looking in the right direction. But as far as a breed specific, I've never been. I like color. I love red ticks and I love high tans. But people don't realize that a high tan is they've got in their genealogy a walker and a black and tan, and when you mix those two, you come out with one of those red saddleback Saddleback black dogs.
I just got lucky. I heard they said, find somebody who hunts in the same environment you hunt in. And I had a couple other dogs I messed with, and nothing was working. And I had a Honda Sportsman four-wheeler that I used on my business, and the business had paid for it, and I sold it, for cash. And I what was his name down there in Texas? Benny had those dogs uh, down there by, what the heck was his name? Can't remember his name.
Oh, he brought me 2 beagles and gave them to me. I can't think of it right now either.
But I went down and bought all of his dogs. I bought 5 dogs from him. I bought Susie and Bo, and then the offspring of Susie and Bo, which was Blackie, Trip, and Solo. And I sold Trip. Blackie died on me, and Solo is the daddy of Booger and P. And Booger and P, I bought Lily from Jeff over by Capitan, and Lily was a good lion hound, and he was going through a divorce, so I went over there and bought her. So I bred Solo to Lily, and then I got Booger and P, and then Benny gave me Jazz, and I bred Booger to Jazz, and that gave me the Terrace. And really, this running dog is really, and even Lily is related to Bo, and is related to Jazz. They all go back to some of that stuff that Benny had and everything. And so it's pretty tight. And the running dog is really what I'm experimenting now with, just the outcross there. And those guys, I mean, of course, Cody King, he catches lions with his running walkers. Of course, Cody King's a good hunter and a really, really good houndsman. And then there's another guy down there. What's his name? And he catches a lot of lions with the same line of running walkers. So that's what I bred in. That's what Suki is, and Josh Sanchez has a couple that's bred that way, and of course Jack that I have is bred that way, and then so Suki is out of P and bred back to Al, I think. I'd have to look at the paperwork, but it's pretty tight. Matter of fact, it's real tight, but they all cold trail. I won't keep a dog that won't cold trail.
Pink pads on a pup.
I don't think it matters. I've never let that bother me. I've never let that bother me. People say all kinds of stuff. They say a horse with white feet isn't going to be tough enough, but I think it's a lot of its conditioning. I've had white-footed dogs and I've had black-footed dogs, and when you let them lay around, I've never had any issues with that.
Question 2. There's another question. What about you, Brett?
What?
Brett, you're the one that's hunted both Arizona and... No, you haven't hunted Arizona.
They don't ask me. They just want to know from Benny and Chris. They figure
I don't know. I've hunted Arizona, but
my cousin keeps trying to
get me over there, and I talked to Rowdy, but it seems like Arizona and Nevada are really similar. You know what I mean? They have the aspens in the high country, and they have the desert low country. My cousin keeps sending me property over there, so I might be in my bus soon living over there.
I say take the summer off. and just hunt in the winter. And it doesn't matter where you hunt.
Every state has differing conditions. I mean, and that, like New Mexico, the greasewood and this country, like even right where I'm at, you go up in the Uvas up there, trailing conditions are not that bad. They're pretty decent. But you get down in the lower greasewood and with some of that country, it's terrible.
That's
Wipeout.
true. Brett, you're the
What's
only
one?
one that I've ever been around whose dogs could function in that creosote greasewood.
Pete,
But there again, it gets back to conditioning and what you're exposed to.
well, yeah, they're conditioned to trail. Now, catching a lion in it is, they might be able to trail. I caught that Tom. Matter of fact, that picture that I showed you, I caught that Tom, and it was the day, no, 2 days before that. I was with the BLM biologist, and I was trailing that Tom, and I was trailing him across that flat. And P was the only one. P will trail. It's really kind of amazing. You have to move her. You have to, you know, she'll work on something you just can't believe. And I don't
But
even like to say it. People think I'm lying.
but Brett, you've hunted in Nevada in the summertime, right?
Yeah. Stayed lost the whole time.
But
Took a pack
I've
mule.
never been to Nevada driving through.
I've always wanted to hunt up there where my sister and my brother-in-law live, right there above Wells. That's where Cleve and Becky, they catch a lot of lions up there, and
Yeah.
I just went in there and
I
just
think
rode around. Really, I took the dogs. I mean, we trailed a little bit. We trailed a bobcat up into a rock pile, and I just kind of rode around, like I said, and stayed lost. Packed in. I packed up into the job edge, a ways, the wilderness up there, and then I went down into what they called no man's land. They kept saying they don't let any of their ranch hands go in there alone, and I said, man, that's where I want to go. So I packed in there by myself. But
I think everybody
What is that?
thinks Nevada's desert.
no,
You just
Nevada
think
has
of
some.
desert.
They have
I've
some
never been to Reno.
beautiful high country.
Yeah, that's where
Beautiful high
Reno's at,
country.
right?
That's just like
What is that
Arizona.
like?
Arizona is noted for the desert. But what was it like up there
Uh-huh.
by Young, Chris?
Oh, gorgeous. Actually, my old lady's trying to put on, my kids are all, it's cold. It's like 67 degrees. So it was nice. A little bit of clouds, pines. Really nice.
Jeremiah, that's a good question. What's the optimal weather for dry ground trailing?
Oh,
You had
snow.
a good rain like 4 or 5 days before. That ground's got a little bit of fluff to it. You had overcast days. Temperature didn't get below freezing, didn't get above 60. Am I right, Benny?
Yes, and your barometer needs to stay steady.
Yeah, got that. I call it, you can walk out in the morning and you can feel it. I call it be a heavy. It feels like a heavy day. And man, you can really trail. On the and in the desert on those rims or right below those rims, sometimes there's rock. And those lions will like to walk right below that rim, or sometimes they'll walk right over the top of that rim. You can trail a lot older track than you realize. A lot older track.
Just got to have
You
that
know, another
moisture.
another trick on the desert is if you ride along the edge of the canyon on top of the rim rock in the morning, as that sun's heating up that rock, that sin is drifting up. The thermals is carrying it. Now in the evening, if you get down in the bottom of the canyon, that air's cooling and it's dropping those scent back down in the bottom. And so you can actually hunt the whole entire ledge if you do it right and let the thermals help you.
And there's always that dead time. I always say it's around 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock to about 2:30, three
Nap
o'clock.
time.
Yeah, it's nap time. I mean, everything stops. I mean, it just can't trail. I mean, we caught that big Tom over there in the Terra Blanca, and we trailed him all morning the day before we caught him, And we were, I know we couldn't have been too far behind him, but came 2 o'clock. It was, the dogs just balled up. So we just, I, I, I just got them moving again and went around, and we picked up that track again, but it was already, 3:30 or 4 o'clock. So I just camped out. Well, I just stayed out that night. Next morning, I got up and split the canyon where I thought the lion was going. And I happened to get lucky that day and hit him. He had killed a big old cow elk. And we caught him. He still ran a long ways. He had his belly full of elk, but he still ran a long ways. I didn't kill him either. I let him live. That was a mistake.
So Angie says we need some wipeout blood. What is wipeout blood?
I was gonna ask that too.
Wipe out.
I know what it is on the drums.
What Gerlach? Who's Gerlach? I got the place. Gerlach. What?
Gerlach. Isn't that Gerlach, Nevada?
Oh, I don't know.
Let me look. Let me just look it up here.
Angie, you need to get some wipeout blood. They can trail good.
Yep.
Where are they? Who hunts them? Angie? Where are they out
What
of?
is it? What are they? Holy moly, Gerlach looks kind of dry and deserty. Look at that. It just looks like a desert.
Gerlach,
I don't see no green.
Nevada.
I don't see no green.
Let's take a look.
Oh,
here.
there is. There is a little bit to the north, looks like. Or
let's take a gander here.
You know what I look for? I look for water.
Treeing walkers. So wipeout blood is treeing walkers. And then again, it gets back to what is the prime game that they're after and what are the conditions.
Jeremy has wipeout blood. Louisiana honey. I look for water. Every time they tell me a new place, my cousin always sends me places for sale. And I look over there. There's a lot of neat spots. There's a lot of cheap land. I think Nevada is probably some of the last frontier. They get mad you call it Nevada. It's like when you say Illinois. Ooh boy. You don't tell an Illinoisian it's Illinois. I tell her it's Illinois. About it.
So
we are doing a lot of surfing tonight.
Who, me?
All of us.
Well, we're trying
This is why we couldn't do a podcast right now.
I know.
For those listening, if it's a podcast, we are all looking on the internet for Gerlach, Nevada.
I got it.
We need a narrator.
I got it
Nevada.
right here, boys. Let's see if I can share this.
You using your Onyx?
Yeah.
Oh, it even faded in like a movie. Kind of exciting.
It's got a transition. Is that where you were talking about? Is that our Gerlach?
Look to the top there.
This granite range looks pretty cool.
I think there's some water on top. I was trying to zoom in. Does he have property there where we could crash on and mooch off them?
Will they feed us?
You got food? That's all we need to know is you got food.
We have to plan our trips
around food. There's a bunch of wilderness around there, Brett.
Really?
Buffalo Hills, Poodle Mountain Wilderness.
Poodle Mountain.
I think. Let's see here. Let me see if I'm in the right spot. I think I am. So my cousin, I seen that Pyramid Lake. My cousin sent me some property over there by like 'Cause it's right by Reno. Well, not right by. My cousin lives over in Walker, California. So
Is that California right there?
it's real close. I remember seeing that Pyramid Lake.
Oh, I bet they got lions thick in there.
You guys ready for this? Early neurological stimulation. Super dog program. Early neurological stimulation.
Sounds like
He
fun
has
to
a
me.
rubber barbecue.
There you go. That's when you tickle the dog's feet or whatever. Early neurological stimulation. Super dog program. I'll have to look that up now.
What else do we got?
Early
Neurological stimulation. Who gave you that
logical.
information, Chris? I'm
Cleve
too
Dwyer.
excited not to share the news. Wayne Bisbee, what did he not share? What is he sharing?
Uh-oh. We are who?
He just
Who
bought
didn't?
a pup.
Well, he just bought a pup.
Who did? Oh,
Wayne Bisbee.
Where'd he get the pup? It's not a pup I gave him,
Finley
is it?
River Chief bred. Spring Creek Rock and Finley. Finley River Chief.
Finley River Chief bred pup.
Hey, I just found some bear meat from 09.
Oh, the Super
Actually, I was
Dog
going through my
program.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Did you look it up, Chris?
I'm looking up right now. Puppy socialization starts with the breeder. Early neurological stimulation.
They come up.
Breeding better dog. She says it works. How long is that little video in there? Play. Let me see here. Oops. Oh, you bastard.
Chris has technical difficulties today.
Creating super puppies.
It's
There's a little
development.
YouTube video.
Okay, it's development utilized 6 exercises designed to stimulate the neurological system. Each workout involved handling puppies once each day with 5 specific exercises. Tactile stimulation, holding the pup in one hand, gently stimulate, tickle the pup between the toes on one foot using a Q-tip. Man, maybe I need some neurological stimulation.
You remember Calvin was talking about that. He said he's doing it to his pups.
You know, when I raised those Airedales, we used to do all that kind of stuff. And then we also we graded our pups according to certain tests, A, B, and C, and that was supposed to be a personality indicator. Like an A was a problem-solving dog, and I forget now. This has been 30-something years ago. I wasn't convinced it was totally accurate or totally worked, but I don't know.
Well, I got little kids that drag puppies at 2 weeks old out and hold them by the necks, tails, feet. Is that the same?
Stimulate them.
They get stimulated, but I tell you what, you could tell the difference on my litters that my kids have just totally destroyed with attention, and the litters that they didn't get to play with enough. So I imagine it's like imprinting, right? Basically,
Yeah.
the horse, the more you pet it, the more it loves you, kind of deal. You know how they teach them to hug you in their little foals, and when they get to be 2 years old, it don't work out so well. Well, they're out hunting. I'll send you a really good link when I get back to cell service.
Hold on, here we go. Let me see if I can do this. Tell me if you guys can hear this.
Neurological stimulation. The U.S. military did studies on raising puppies and they found that doing certain exercises with puppies during the time of rapid growth between the puppy's 3rd and 16th day of life would increase the pup's performance in later life. They created a program.
You guys can't hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Missy says no.
Called the Biosensor Program, consisting of 5 exercises to be done once a day with the pups. They found that not only were the puppies able to cope with more stressful situations and problem solve better than other puppies, but they were actually physically healthier, with higher cardiovascular performance, stronger immune systems, adrenal glands, and heartbeats. These exercises are not a replacement for natural handling that should be done with rearing puppies. For instance, kissing the puppies, holding them, getting them used to being cuddled. The first exercise is called tactile stimulation. Gently tickle or stimulate the puppy between their toes for 3 to 5 seconds. This puppy offered us a calming signal, a yawn. The next 3 exercises involve holding the puppy for 3 to 5 seconds in 3 different positions. The first position is head held erect. The second, head pointed down. And the third, supine position. The 5th exercise is called thermal stimulation. For 3 to 5 seconds, put the puppy on a damp cloth that has been in the refrigerator for 5 minutes. The point is not to make the puppy cold, but mildly stressed. The next step for these puppies will be environmental enrichment and socialization.
There you go.
I can tell you right now, my kids have held them puppies in every one of those positions. Maybe not as easy, and they've been dropped in the water bowls. So I guess that helped. And I've caught them chewing on their feet. So
I'm gonna send that video or one of those videos to my grandson, and I got a litter of pups on the ground now, and I'll have him do that to them.
yeah. Oh man.
He does because he works with them already. I got a male dog that I'm gonna be selling. He's already 5 months old, and we've been doing some different exercises, hiding things out in the desert behind the house because I got all BLM land behind the house, and having him go find it, working with him, loading up and everything. I told my grandson, I said, if you can get him trained where he loads and he handles good, and you can get him where he's trailing a little bit, I told him you can sell him, and he's well bred. You know who he goes back to? He's out of that Bean dog that I got from Breck Bean, and he goes back to Newt, which of course Newt came from Steve Smith and Clark Richens. So Bean got in and bred Iris, and Iris is out of P and Al, and she had 1 puppy, and that was that dog. So there you go. There's my advertisement.
You know, I was given a dog by a guy that does a lot of hunting, and that it just wasn't doing good on lion. Didn't want to really trail, didn't want to really tree, and he said, "I'll try her on bear." She did a little better, just not great, and she she came in heat. I had her in a pen, and she had got out, and she actually bred with Dirty. And so I tried those puppies out, and that's how I got Lucy, and I got Cecilia, I got Ben and Bella. I'm gonna tell you what, they just took it from the father's side, but them dogs hunt. Them dogs hunt. I even told the guy because he does some government work, and I'd give him one of my other dogs, and I said, "Man, I want you to try these dogs." I also got Halado and Morozny. I just kept. They're great. They're great. So I don't know. That's why
You never know.
I'm not I'm not into genetics as hard as Benny, but we can't all be perfect like Benny. You know what I mean?
Well, I just like the litter of pups I got on the ground now is like the last. I got to keep a female out of that litter, and then I cross back to Booger. Hopefully it can take, and that's the last. I'll have I'll have all that concentrated, and then maybe, I mean, there's a lot of guys that are really good lion hunters that like that line of dogs. I mean, and they do good with them, and we'll see. Something to do.
I think everybody has their own little system.
Yeah, I mean, this has been kind of a long time coming, trying to reproduce what P and Booger were or are. They're still, but they're 10 years old. So,
You know, I was talking to Dell, and he even said, because I was telling him how I like having my own litters, and because you can watch them. But even, you know, even Dell said, and he's right. That dog you think's going to be just a badass dog slows down, and then the one that wasn't very active is all of a sudden active. And I think man, you just never know. You like never know what they're going to turn out like, you know. But maybe I just bred what I've had. Maybe I never had access. A lot of people don't really have the access to good dogs. They don't have the money to buy good dogs, or they don't know the right people to get a good dog from, you know. And a
Well,
lot of
yeah,
guys get out of Houndsman. They get in it because they went with a friend that caught a lion in 10 minutes, and all of a sudden they're getting puppies and dogs, and then they don't figure out how much work it is. And it's a lot of work. A lot of work.
yeah, it's a lot of work. But what you're talking about, Chris, is still genetics. You know,
Yeah.
you're doing is through time and you keep track of all this stuff, and you'll see how it all changes, and you're changing your dog's behavior and their performances with this breeding and that breeding, and you'll end up with your own line, and those are the
Yeah.
genetics. It's not that you have to have top notch from here and top notch. Hey, if you can afford it, go. But at the same time, that's how these lines get started. Just exactly what you're talking about doing.
Yeah.
well, you know, and I've probably had 10, at least 10 outside dog. I call them outside dogs that I didn't keep. I wouldn't keep for one reason or other. And some of them went on to be good dogs for other people, but for some reason I just didn't like them. You know, I didn't like them because they didn't. I don't know. Sometimes, you know how you do. Sometimes you just don't like a dog for whatever reason.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I have one of those pups right now, and my wife's like, listen, I'm like, no, man, I just can't do it. So I told her, I said, well, bring him down. Bring him down here. I had him up there, and I wasn't really working with him. I said, bring him down and let me do some stuff with him.
That's
And man,
That's Bean right there. That's the dog that come from Breck Bean. I call him Bean. He's the one goes back to Newt. And he's the father of that one pup we got. And Bean's really not doing anything yet. I mean, he trails, but man, and he is a high energy dog. Real high energy.
you
Your
think you can
Lily
have dogs
dog,
that are too high energy?
For an old man. Yeah.
Brett, you had some dogs out of that Lily. That goes back to Newt as well.
Yeah, that's Booger and P.
Yeah.
Booger and P were both out of Lily and out of Solo. And Solo was out of Susie and Bo. And Susie goes back to, I guess, Terrell Shelley and all that stuff. I know Marty, was it Marty Greenwood is the one that he I don't know if he owned her or he was around her at one time. And he spoke real high of Susie. The big fault on Susie was she would leave a tree. She'd go start finding something else to trail. So if you didn't get to the tree fast enough, or if it was too high where she couldn't see it, she would leave. But I think that's where all that trailing ability comes from, is from Susie. And Bo was that way. Bo was just smarter than I was. He was already an older dog when I got him, and he took advantage of my ignorance.
I saw that Susie with I was with Don Milton and Tom White,
Yeah.
and Tom had Susie at that time, and he tried to get to the tree just as fast as possible so she wouldn't drag those younger dogs away.
Yep.
And I think it's easier too. We were hunting in the big pines up there around Ruidoso, and when those lions tree real high, it's easy for those younger dogs to lose interest if they can't see them right there close.
Yeah. Well, that's why she ended up down in Texas, because they said she was okay in those. They didn't have any trees down there. She was down there in those rocks. There's Rusty Boy. I wouldn't take a ton of money for him.
That picture looks fake in the background, don't it?
Hey, don't
Did you
accuse
AI
me of
that?
that. Don't accuse me of that.
Did you AI that?
Here's another one. Same picture. That's just having a good eye and taking a picture at the right time, Chris.
Yeah. I told a girl, she was kind of a hounds girl with a husband, and she had a picture on. I said, damn, that looks photoshopped, because it was a really crazy picture. Oh, boy. Deleted me, called me all kinds of names. I'm like, God, just tell me what it looked like. I wasn't accusing you of it. Dang.
You sound kind of a... Hey, there's some trash.
There you go.
That mother shoved those cubs up the tree, and she took off.
See, that goes back. I just had a conversation with Spot Stock with the guy, and that goes back to a sow without a cub, right? So she plants them, takes off. She's a mile up on the other side there, and there's a hunter sitting there glassing her come over. You ain't gonna see no cubs. If you tree her, you're not gonna see no cubs.
You want to see something sad? Look at that.
Oh, is that old one on the riverbank?
Eating birds. That's Uno. He's one of the terrorists.
Look like he got him a belly.
Uno?
Your dog. Get Brett riled up.
No, that's his chest. He's got that big old deep chest like a Bo.
Oh no,
Bo was his granddaddy.
Oh, it's just a ground color I'm looking at. Get Brett fired up with his fat dogs.
Yeah, don't talk about my dogs. You can talk about me. Don't talk about my dogs. I figured I'd show some of these pictures that nobody's
calling
ever
people
seen
snowflakes,
before.
and now you can't handle it.
I can
Man, you've got a lot of messages this week.
Man, it's been tough. There you go.
That other
There's
guy
proof.
sent you a message.
There's proof. There's Jack with P. He's the half running dog, half blue tick, and P's that she'll trail when no other dog will trail.
Boy, you got a lot of sand out there, don't you?
Lots of sand, lots of terrible.
I got a bunch of cinders.
Oh, me. Guys, what else is going on? Help me out here. People are going to get tired of seeing my slideshow.
You need to just put one together for...
I can share. I got
Where has the Bobcat... Where has the... Oh, Cody King. Where is Cody King?
I believe he might be working on a study in Mexico this week.
Well, I don't know if anybody's seen them dog kennels, but
are they nice or
living
what?
better than I am. Living better than I am.
Told him I'd hate to see the first pile of crap in those.
He did, didn't he? Post it.
I think he did.
I think he did. He posted it. See, you think about Nevada as being desert, but John was over there at 7,000 feet.
That northern part of Nevada, well, it's right below Idaho. I mean, it's...
Well, right there in the middle, right against California, my cousin's always sending me property.
Yeah,
Young trip
we were
still
talking
on.
about that earlier.
Bring it up again.
I don't have anything on that.
August 24th, 25th. The people that are helping us out with it gave us this huge camping ground to use. And after we figure out how to get everybody to sign up, if you sign up RSVP, and I think we'll have to take the money first or something, but they're going to make us a steak dinner and it's going to be cheap, like $25-$30 a plate. You can't hardly go to Whataburger for that anymore. That's steak dinner, steak, potatoes, corn, she was saying.
Rez is asking too, Chris. Calvin's
Well, we're
asking.
gonna get together August 24th, 25th. Now, I think Lions open then, so we could just all go run Lions all Sunday after we get rid of our hangover.
I quit drinking.
When does the new season start, Chris? Because it's closed right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's usually August sometime. It's January, so February, March, April. So it shuts down May 31st, I believe, June, July, and then August. The regs haven't came out yet, so I don't know. Or they might have. I haven't checked. I don't think they've came out yet to show when it starts. It kind of drives me crazy because then it's hard to schedule anything. But Bear is usually that first weekend of August, and then I think Lion opens not too far after that. Let me see if I can find it. Arizona Game Fish. If anybody knows, Brarely, do you know? Pauly, John, is that his name? He's in Arizona. John Pauly. When does Lion start? Has anybody seen the regs? Hunting regulations. I doubt they've came out yet.
There you go. That one was in my kennel.
Looking. Nope.
They grow pretty good on dog food, don't they?
They like those mice that dog food brings in.
Hey, so there's
The new regs
of,
aren't out yet.
We've got a bunch of new people on here since you made the announcement.
Oh,
Run through
yeah.
your.
Oh yeah, throw it out there again.
Hold on. Let me. Oh no, let me see if I can find it.
You searched too much. You threw it on in the back of the stack.
Oh, I know. Whoops, that's not it. Sorry. Where did I put it? We got a good picture of Chris.
I just worked out before I took that picture too. That's why I look all swole.
He was all pumped up.
Yeah, that's why I was all swole. Yeah, that's the word.
guy
swole. What is it? Go on. Oh, Nicholas. What'd she ask about Nicholas?
Where is Nicholas?
Nicholas said he's about to come out with some videos. He's been just hunting. I think he just kind of got smart and got out of YouTube for a bit and went out and hunted.
For those of you that are close or can make the trip down to Douglas, Arizona this weekend, we're going to go live. I don't know whenever they let us, but we're all going to be together. Me and Chris and Benny at the Earn Your Spurs Ranch Rodeo. Now,
so is there any bail bondsmen on here? Get your number.
Okay, Benny, take it away. Tell everybody what it's about.
It started with Warner Glenn's wife, Wendy. She started a little fundraising deal to help youth in agriculture. And after she passed away, their granddaughter, Kelly Kelly's daughter, Mackenzie Kimbrough, she took it over to honor her grandmother. And then through the time, it's just morphed into this deal. And now Kelly and Mackenzie both do it. They've named it Earn Your Spurs. And it's a fundraiser to help youth and students financially with their education and stuff for ranch and farm people. They're gonna have a ranch rodeo Friday, a ranch rodeo Saturday. They've got a professional bull riding. It's a 3-day deal. I don't know what else is going to be going on, but it's at the Cochise County Fairgrounds in Douglas this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we're going to be there, like Brett said. He's going to bring his Starlink. I think Chris, you're going to bring yours as a backup. Don't use that same camera.
It's working
and
fine
we're going to be
now.
live. Kelly said that she's going to set us up right in the middle of everybody coming and going, and her and Mackenzie will take time to sit out with us, and anybody that's there that just wants to sit in and visit, come on the air with us this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Douglas, Arizona.
There it is.
That's part of it. Whoop. Here we go.
Them ranch rodeos are a little different, right?
Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
some.
They'll have pinning
bit
and
crazier
sorting and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
You guys want
Like
to meet
real life.
John Clint's going to be hanging around with us. His sons, part of his sons have a ranch rodeo team. They're going to be in the rodeo on Friday.
So come on out. We'll make you live.
Mm-hmm. Make you famous.
I'll make you famous. Where's that from?
Young Guns.
Oh, that's right.
Emilio Estevez.
Billy the Kid. I'll make you famous.
Yep.
All right, guys. What else? Anybody's got any questions?
Yeah.
Ask a
Keep
question.
your eye open for.
Man,
Yeah, ask now.
you and me both.
Yeah, how
Elaine.
did they know? Benny is riding a bull. We're gonna braid his back hair for the rope.
Hey, when I was young, full of fire, I used to ride bulls.
Mm.
I think we all tried it once or twice.
My uncle had me almost talked into going pro, and then I got to thinking, I'm still alive and I haven't broken every bone yet. I think I'll park all my bull stuff.
I might have
those
got
who-
on 2 in my life, and that's it.
Yeah, I did a few. Didn't I? Was like,
Well-
"No." I like to go to work. I like to go to work the next day.
Do I have to leave my boot on? Can I take it off?
Yeah, wear your chunkless.
Brett, a reenactment.
Yep. So, and then anybody in Arizona, the hound trials are coming up in May.
What do they
May,
do? What are
April,
those?
or
What do they
May.
do, Chris? What do they do in a hound trial?
So, I usually get there Friday, set up. Saturday, you sign up by 7:30. They do a little coon drag. They got a little track set up already, and they got a quad. They drag the coon drag to the tree. You got a live coon in the tree, so you do that. And they got juniors and seniors, and then after that we go do a bear drag. Or no, Saturday they do the coon drag. They do a 100-yard dash, where they line up all the dogs and take off, and they just run 100 yards.
I
Then
bet
you go
that's
do
wild, isn't it?
It's crazy. And then you go do the bear or lion drag, and there's like 30, 40 dogs, and they drag it again and do a drag, and they got a fake, or they're not a fake, they got a rug hanging up in a tree, like a bear or lion rug, and you let 30, 40, 50 dogs go. And
Jeez.
typically you don't have no fights, which is
Really?
You do get them. Oh, you do get them. But typically, out of the last 4 or 5 years I've been there, maybe my dog's gotten the worst fight ever. And that was by my truck because somebody brought
A female in
a Jip.
season.
Yep. And we kind of made that rule that if that ain't gonna happen no more, shouldn't. And then after that, after you do that drag, you go eat lunch Saturday, and then you run over to the lake, little pond, and they do the water race. So they stretch that cable across there, and it's kind of cool. It's really good for the kids. You know, it's good for just pups. It's probably good for getting your dogs used to other dogs. You know, kind of where I hunt down here with I don't run nobody, just like you, Brett. But when I'm bear hunting, I've been in the trees with 50, 60 dogs because
Wow.
you start a bear, and yeah, it's happened. And I knew the guys. We all knew each other. It's no big deal. It's just a little bear. No one wanted to kill it anyways. You know, we actually let it go and let the pups chase it later. But
What do you do in a case like that? You get to a tree with a bunch of other dogs, and you both kind of get there at the same time. I mean, and this is a huge bear that somebody wants to shoot.
if it's guides, it's probably gonna be
You let
a
them have
good
it.
fight. Oh no, I've heard some fights. I'm
Really?
talking big fights. Oh yeah. If it's like me, I'm usually not. To me, it's kind of like first come, first serve. But because you don't know what dogs got there first, unless you do know. You hear them, they're treed on your GPS. All of a sudden, you hear dogs come in, and they might beat you to the tree.
Really?
But it just depends on how honest the guy is. You know, I'm not gonna do. It's not like I won't throw some blows over it if they're disrespectful to me, but I'm not. It's just not worth it at the tree. I've never been in that situation. I've been where they're like, "Oh yeah, your dogs came in." Your dogs came in. They've been there for 15, 20 minutes, you know. And I've had somebody kick my dog off, my dirty dog, and I had him on my GPS, and I heard dogs treeing, and I got over there, and he was standing back. And I'm gonna tell you, dirty don't leave a tree, ever, at all. So they did something to get him to. I seen the GPS. He was treed where they were, and then he was like 50 yards back. So I don't know what they did to him, and I know the people. So
That's back when I had the
Yeah.
speed dogs and I ran coyotes.
God, I always wanted to do that. When I was
It's
young, I always
fun.
wanted to do that.
Here, I'll show
Look,
this
Great.
one. I'll show this one real quick, so we don't get in trouble. Whoop.
Castration,
Oh.
Chris.
I listen. If someone does you wrong in life, wait 2 years before you pay them back. Is all I'm saying. They'll never suspect you.
That big old yellow dog was good. This Appaloosa dog was tough too.
Were those dogs in on that lion over there in Anubis?
No, not in Ubis. That's out in the flats. And I used to I rode a lot of young horses at that time, and I'd take those young horses out, and I could ride them out there chasing coyotes. I don't know why this thing's doing that.
Let me find the dates for the hound trials too. When I'm on here.
So Calvin, which are you talking about? You trying to make it this weekend, or are you going to go to Young in August? Hey, Brett,
So the
Wayne
hound.
wants to buy.
Do what, Benny?
Wayne wants to buy a pup.
Yeah, I'll save him one. I'll sell you one of those pups. I'll talk to my grandson. He's in charge of all of them, and he's working with them and doing everything. I'm going to have him do that super dog thing to him too, because that's what he works with my dogs every day.
So the hound trials dates are May 11th and 12th, June. It says 22nd, but it's not. It's Father's Day, So whatever, I think it's the weekend before, the June 14th and 15th, July 20th, 21st, and August 10th and 11th. The August one messes me up because it's usually opening season of bear. And I just go down here. Autumn makes me feel guilty. So June 15th is going to be Father's Day. May 11th, 12th, June 15th, July 20th, 21st, and August 10th and 11th. Hound trials. And the August 10th and 11th, they have this big potluck. Every time you show up, you get a free raffle ticket, and they give away like Garmins and stuff. They have a raffle on the last Sunday you're there, and it's huge.
You recognize that guy, Benny?
Trying to get.
I can't see it good, Brett.
He's on his phone.
That's when Bency was hunting with me.
Looks like he's 12.
Oh,
He looks like a little boy, don't he?
yeah.
There you go. I can't post on the
Long time
comments.
ago.
There you go. Oh, is it bedtime?
Yeah, it's about time, guys. I haven't.
My wife texted me and said, "You're still awake. You didn't nod off." I've been up since 2 Monday. I've been up since 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I was up since 4 this morning, so kind of tired myself.
Well, I appreciate everybody who stuck with us this time. We were kind of dragging and slow and looking up stuff, and you're still here.
You know,
But now
and that,
everybody.
sorry, Chris, but
No, I was just gonna say, Benny's gonna send everybody that's on right now $20.
I don't. It's just a free for all. I mean, I don't want to put so much pressure that we have to have everything organized and we start off with some kind of fancy thing. And I don't know. I just like it to be like this. People want to come and BS with us and try to get to every comment that we can with the questions and whatever. And
if you got a story, just tell us and we'll put you on.
yeah,
All I gotta
if you
do
guys
is throw an email, and we'll throw you on if you got a good story.
exactly.
Wayne Bisbee, what's your email address, Brett?
BRETT at BORN.
John, the regs aren't even out yet. They're still got the 23, 24 regs out. There you go. Anybody has a story, send something to that email, Brett at born100yearstolate.com. We can get you on.
Get on, and if you get on that, I don't even know how to do it, but I got a newsletter that we put out. We got like 200 and something people on it, I think. And we try to make, if we have any announcements or anything like that, we don't spam. We send like one out every week, something like that. And we don't do like a lot of people. Once you get on their mailing list, they send you one 3 times a day. We don't do that.
That's on your born100yearstolate.com, right? You go there.
Yeah. I separated that channel from my hound hunting or the hound interviews just because of the way YouTube does things, honestly. And, if I make a packing video and then I make a lion hunting video and then I interview a houndsman, it's like 3 or 4 different audiences. So YouTube doesn't know where to send my content to. So,
Brett, would you try a plot?
would I try a
Someone
plot?
gave you one? Mm-hmm.
Orville Fletcher told me the best dog he ever had was a plot. Oh, yeah, I'd try one.
What about you, Benny?
Benny wouldn't.
No,
Look
it's
at
too good for him.
When I was hunting bears, My best bear dog that I ever owned was half plot and half bloodhound.
I
There
think
you
if I
go.
was running nothing but bears, I'd probably get in the plots. I just don't want that aggressiveness that you hear about too much. I don't want them.
What
I
does he
guess you want
mean?
them gritty. But
What does he mean?
not
I'll
really.
donate my 20 bacteria.
I think he's supposed to say something else. My $20? 20?
I don't need any more bacteria.
No, no. Mm. I'll raise you 20 cc's of penicillin.
What else,
Yeah,
guys?
that's all.
Anybody got any questions? We got now.
Better do
This
it
always
quick.
happens. We got more people in here this
I
time of
know.
night than we do when we start.
Hey, you know what it is? It's like a wife. You pay her attention, she ignores you. As soon as you walk away, she says, "Where are you going? Come snuggle on me."
I need you guys post about this live so I can repost it on my page. You where at, Calvin? On Facebook or?
Oh no, he wants to. He wants to. We just need to make Calvin special and send him a little reminder that he forgets every time.
Hey,
I've been
don't
asked
pick
about
No,
on
this
no.
live a lot.
He said I've been asked about this live a lot. He's got.
You could just copy the link of, well, if you could copy the link to your page, Interview Stories and Tales, and then hit the notifications.
I don't have a page, Interview Stories and Tales.
No, your YouTube page.
Oh,
If you get on your YouTube channel, channel, not page, and just go there, Calvin, and you can copy the link and they can.
I don't even share it on my Facebook or anything, but he needs to go to the YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we need to do better trying to promote it.
I do. I when we get on and I remember and you see me looking down, it's because I'm trying to throw it on. I'll put it on Arizona Houndsman and stuff.
I don't do nothing really. The only I promote my.
Why I'm here, Brett.
I mean, I don't even promote my Born 100 Years Too Late. I just make those videos in such a way that YouTube promotes them.
Yeah.
Guys, let's meet in Gerlach, Nevada, Lion style, baby.
You never know what's going to happen, who's watching, and how they heard about it. The Billiam Deering that said he ate breakfast with me, he was looking at me, and he says, "I know you. I've seen you," or something like that. And I said, "Really?" He says, "Are you on the internet?" I thought, "Oh crap!"
That's
so
undercover.
Yeah,
Gonna get you.
I forget where it was. I was with my wife somewhere. I can't remember where it was, and we were walking through somewhere, and I had this is embarrassing. I had Crocs on, and shorts, and a T-shirt, and a ball cap, and I had my ball cap on backwards, I think. And we went walking.
Mute him, Benny.
And some guys looked. And they said, that guy looks real familiar. That guy looks familiar. My wife laughed.
You should have said, "Nah, it's my twin brother."
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Yeah, he's a dummy.
When Kelly and I were talking about this live deal this weekend, she was all in and she was pretty excited. And she says, "Brett has such a huge following. You never know who's going to recognize just Brett and want to sit down there and talk to you guys." And I said, "Well, we'll have a chair.
We got an empty chair for whoever wants to talk to us." That's the whole idea of being at a location like that. And we can go live as long as we can keep the internet up. And we're sitting there. We could go live and talk to whoever walks by.
As long as we have power, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
And we'll probably have good internet down there because there ain't nobody sucking it up.
Is that what affects that Starlink real bad?
I think so. I think because right now I have super good internet, but oh man, it's getting dark. But earlier, like 5 o'clock here, everybody gets home 6 o'clock, and it it just slows down a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Okay,
anxious.
so
I'm anxious to get to set it all up and try it. I'm anxious to maybe since if it's all right with
oh,
you
my
guys,
camera's going.
maybe after a couple weeks we can are you still there, Chris?
Yeah, I'm here. My camera got hot again. I don't know what it's doing.
You got to
Maybe
quit
after
showing that picture of him. That picture is overheating his camera.
Yeah. Brett, you're gonna have to send me that camera, and I can probably order it and get it here before this weekend.
what camera?
The one
The
you
one I
said.
want you to have? Oh, I thought that was you.
Yeah.
It's called a Razor. But anyway, maybe after this next weekend when we're live in Arizona, when I move it out to the house there, maybe we should start later in the evening. Maybe we should only start about 6:30 at night. What do you think?
Well, it helped me out a lot because I'm always hauling ass home.
It would help you?
Yeah, to start at 5:30 because I start at 4:30 here, and I think a lot of people are still working. And by the time they get home, feed their dogs, it's probably close to 5:30, 6 o'clock in Arizona, which would be 7:30 your time. Well, and it'd be nice because you'll be right next door to your house, so it's not like you'll just be able to unplug. Me, I'm in my trailer. I'll unplug and go lay down right now. So it'd be a lot easier for you once you get your office set up next to your house.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then like right now, I got a 20-minute drive home. I'll just have a
Well, let's split the difference so that we don't go too late for us and everybody farther east, and do it instead of 5:30. Let's start it at 6 o'clock.
6 okay. 6:30, something like that.
And we'll only go for 2 hours too.
We'll go as
We
long as
always-
it takes.
Oh man, we always get on and it's 3 hours. It's 3 hours. We're almost 3 hours again right now. And I'm curious to see how we do on W with some of these longer podcasts, because most of those guys, they're not real smart like us, and they don't have a lot to say like the other. I don't know, the X ones. They're not, so they can only talk
the
for an
extreme
hour.
guys.
The extreme guys.
No,
Us.
the thing is, they're so much smarter than us. They get what they need to say in a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah,
That's what it
I
is.
thought they-
they
have
don't emotionally damage everybody either, like we do.
They haven't perfected baffle them with bullshit either.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. That one thing that is true with the Houndsman XP is I don't get notifications anymore of their podcasts.
I think it's because they jumped over to their network. What is it called? The Houndsman Network, whatever it's called.
I know. I got to find out where it's at.
They're overloading. I'll send you a link. Just think, but to me, I look on W, and it's the exact same what W's putting on, and it's all there. It's all the same.
What do you mean?
So, like, if you go to your iPhone and you go to your your iPod thing, and it's called the Hound Dog Podcast Network, right?
Oh.
It has Gone to the Dogs on it. It has
That's W though.
From the pages of Full Cry, W and Alpha Dog Nutrition, and you go over to W, and it has Gone to the Dogs. From the pages of Full Cry, W and Alpha Dog Nutrition. So that I don't
That's
understand
W
why
Hunting Supply.
Yeah, but the Hound Dog Podcast Network, that's the Chris guy, I believe. So
That's
who's
W. If those ones that you read are under that, that's W Hunting Supply.
Why did they got two of them?
I don't know.
Why did they have W and the Hound Dog? The Hound Dog Podcast Network, I believe, is the Houndsman XP guy. He started this network.
Well, but that's not the same as W.
Well, it's not. It says it's Hound Dog. It's a whole different, another page on podcast. And then you go, because I got him.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
subscribed to him. And then you go to W, and it's all the same podcast. Just it don't say like episode
I think you-
388. And it don't have episodes. It just
Well,
has the
Is that coming from that
name.
Sportsman's Nation or whatever?
Sportsman's Empire. Hound Dog
See, I
Podcast
don't
Network
know.
by the Sportsman's Empire. I'm not understanding why. And I've heard Buddy and Jason, they're all talking about how it's hard to do that networking thing like they're doing. But I don't understand why they have the same podcast on both. I would imagine you're somewhat competition, you know.
I think we're all in the same boat. I don't know how we could be competition, really.
So, I don't know. Look, it's under the Sportsman's Empire if you look it up.
Yeah.
And I heard Chris Powell talking about that on Houndsman XP, because Houndsman XP is no more, right?
Yeah.
I haven't-
but they have, I don't know. I shouldn't say.
I haven't got a notification either.
I haven't
And
either.
they're like gone.
I've lost track of
They're
their
gone.
podcasts.
And that's why I think, I don't know what's happening. Confusing. Who cares about them guys anyways? Just come to ours.
I
Ours is
will
way better.
know next time, and I will put links up. I'll have links ready for everybody's podcasts, because we are here to help everybody.
Mhm.
Even though I want to be better than everybody, I still want to help everybody.
Well, I mean, you got to put the ugly girls with the pretty girls and make the pretty girls look prettier, right?
You know, I just found out yesterday where that song originated, Who Let the Dogs Out, or what it was about. I didn't ever
What
know
is
that
it?
was about let the ugly girls into the club.
Hmm.
Oh well. My daughter told me that. So. What else? Oh, Jason with Full Cry. So with W Hunting Supply, but he also owns Full Cry Magazine. He's got
Yep.
a podcast that he's doing, and it's where they read some of those old articles out of Full Cry. That's pretty cool.
That is
So,
cool.
Yeah. So guys, look that up. That would be.
That's going to be on the W, I'm sure.
I
right.
think it's separate.
Really?
I don't know. See, now you're confusing everybody.
I'm just asking questions here. I don't know nothing.
Full Cry Podcast.
You
He's
might have to
he's
call
leaning
him
over
and we'll
that
throw him.
Just
What is it?
okay, hold on. We got to get this straightened out now that I'm here.
Yep.
Now let's. Dadgummit.
Let's
Chris.
see.
Hey guys, I'm gonna tap out and go visit with my mother for the rest of the evening.
Benny, thanks for
Oh,
joining
oh.
us.
We see where we rate.
So, guys, this
See
week
you Friday.
Douglas, Arizona.
All righty.
Have a good evening.
Thank you, Benny.
No.
We'll see you. Are you still there, Chris?
I'm not. Yeah.
So if
I'm
I
not
look
seeing
up
nothing.
Full Cry,
Yeah, I was trying to look it up too.
is it one word or two words?
Maybe just Full Cry Magazine. Should come up.
From the pages of Full Cry, it's on W. After 85 years
That's
of
all.
publication, there's bound to be a little something for everyone. Join us as we dive into the archives of American Original Tree Dog Magazine. Let's see if you guys can hear this.
Find yourself in the pages of Full Cry as we dive into the archives of America's leading tree dog publication. Join us as we look back at decades of stories, articles, and more written by those bold enough to follow the echoes of a hound.
Howdy, everyone, and welcome to From the Pages of Folk.
So that's pretty cool. They're going to be reading articles out of, then you got Stark, Tree Talking Time with Ben. We'll see, where's the Hound Dog Network? Oh, that's from the pages of Full Cry. Now you're confusing
That's
me.
what I'm telling you. It's like,
Well, what happened to the Houndsman XP? I'm going to look up Houndsman XP.
I don't know. Maybe they kicked us off.
Houndsman XP. They blocked us.
That's it,
Well, there's
might have.
Houndsman XP. Oh, and then Heath Hyatt, he went over to W Hunting Supply. And he was with the Houndsman XP. See, look at,
I think these are all old.
22 hours ago,
No.
right there.
Why? How come it's not? Oh, I'm not even following him. I was following him. Now I'm not.
I was
Maybe he
either.
restructured.
I'm following him now. Yeah, they did something
You can't
different.
get rid of us, Chris Powell.
That's right.
You must have. March 24th, March 31st, April 7th, 14th, 3 days ago. Okay.
But they have other ones too. And Hound Sportsman's Empire. Who is this? Oh,
So who? I thought it was Chris Powell doing the Sportsman's Empire.
man, I am so confused about all this.
You might have to give old Jason Doobie a call.
Look at Simper Dogging. Look at all these ones. How about just Hound? How about if you just look up Hound Hunting? What all do you get there? You got W, the Hound Dog Pack, Gone to the Dogs. That's Stephen Fielder. He's with W. She Goes Outdoors. Who in the heck is that? Hunter's Wheelhouse. Hound Hunting Weekly. Song of the Hounds. I was on that guy's podcast one time. Simper Dogging. Most of these must be coon hound hunting or coon hunting stuff. Bear Hunting Magazine. That's old one. Hound's Tales Podcast. The Hunting Dog.
The article Full Cry did about Roger Hartzo in Nevada was BS. I'm pulling my waders up. BS is getting deep.
What did we do to
Tell
piss
us-
in your
tell us.
Cheerios?
Tell us, Tyler. Tell
Yeah,
us.
let us know. Don't just.
Mm-hmm.
What BS are we giving? Explain that to us, Tyler.
No, he said the article, the Full Cry they did about Roger.
Was that an
Hartzo
old
in
one?
Nevada was BS.
Was that an old one?
I don't know.
I didn't even see it.
Tell us. Tell us all, Tyler. Oh, the comment or the article?
The article.
I don't know. What? Yeah, got Wednesday night, Chris. Oh, I never know till about Wednesday afternoon. I gotta see if I'm gonna see if Becky Dwyer's available to do her little dog tickle feet thing.
Tickle feet thing.
Mm-hmm. Because everybody seems quite interested in it.
Come on, Tyler.
So-
We're waiting for you.
Yeah, Tyler, spill the beans. We were
Tell it.
ready to go.
Tell us why. Does anybody know who Roger Hartzo? Is that how you say that?
Roger Hartzo.
Who he is?
Who's Roger Hartzo?
Oh, well. We're going to have to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, we can't just wait all night for you. You can't just hang us with that.
Oh, there you go. No, just posted last month, the article. We have to have better real hounds, man, to ask questions and tell story.
Ooh.
We're going to have better real hounds, man. So it was just an article posted last month.
Yeah.
You know, one thing after, I mean, being in the hound world now for some years, there's always that.
There's not really no gray area in hound.
People
It's love or
say
hate.
so and so full of crap, so and so, and that's why I've always kind of gravitated
Stayed by yourself?
towards. Well, yeah, and I don't show a lot of stuff, but and I kind of gravitated towards like the Mike Roots, the Steve Smiths, the old guys like that they're pretty secretive
You
about
can't
what
question
they do.
them.
Yeah, and they're secretive about what they do. I mean, and they kind of keep to themselves, and most of the time when you get them by themselves and you talk to them, they're pretty humble people. They're not real braggadocious or anything like that. But that
Yeah.
a lot of it is they don't, just like the guy accusing me of calling him a snowflake. They don't want to put themselves out there to argue with people like that. They've been doing it for 50 years. They don't need to argue with anybody. They just do their own thing. They don't really care what anybody else thinks.
I think the drama gets less all the way down the line. I don't know how bad. I bet you the coon hunting community's probably the worst. And then it goes the bear and then lion. But a lot of your lion hunters, the snow hunters are pretty dramatic because it's my track. I found the track. You're running my roads. Like where I hunt, I've never in my life ever down south ran into anybody else. Even in Globe, there's a lot, but I don't hunt in the snow and I just hunt in the middle of the week. So
Yeah, I don't run into anybody.
but out here where I'm down now, I don't run into nobody. Nobody hunts us. So,
I mean, when I was up in the mountains, the rancher down below, we traded dogs one day, and we didn't. I mean, he was down in the canyon. I was up above. One of my dogs went down and hunted with him, and I had one of his dogs come and hunt with me for a day. But we were both riding, and we crossed each other. I'd never seen him. Should all be fun. Yeah, we don't care. I mean, man, if you go out and catch 50 lions a year, I'm proud of you.
oh yeah.
If
you catch one lion this year,
if you catch one,
and you're only getting out, you're doing good. Yeah, at least you're out trying.
If you come into
there's not everybody can get out 3, 4, 5 days a week.
Egos play a huge part in it. It does. It really does. But I don't know.
Yep.
You telling her you'll be right there?
No, I was yelling at my dog. Quit barking.
All right, guys. I'm tired. I'm losing my voice. I've talked too much today.
I know.
Good night.
Come to Douglas.
Ryan, Rez, hounding around. Tyler, I hate to see you leave mad, Tyler. I hope you're not mad at us.
No, I think
Les, Wayne, send me an email. Louisiana Hunting. William DeRing, thank you. Hounding around. Nicholas Espinoza. I love plots. Thanks for coming by. Randy Riggs. John Polly. Junior Marriott. Mike Molina. I'm sure he's gone by now. John Polly. All you guys, we really appreciate it. Next weekend, we'll be live. If you can't be down there, just watch for the notifications. We don't even know what time.
We don't know how, but we're going to try. So, adios.
Hasta luego, guys.
See ya.